This program is rated MA. It contains adult themes, coarse language, sexual references, and violence.
God damn it. There we go. What's up? It's Friday. It's Open Comms. We're here.
I'm so
Drayden.
professional on the show, aren't we?
I know. I've been really good about making sure that image is not up after the.
It's because McLeod's been dogging your heels.
Yeah.
You gotta watch out.
Dirk is back with us out of retirement again.
I was
only lasted a week.
I was so fucking bored that I was just gonna come by and say hi to you guys, and then nobody was here, and then Rain showed up, and then like we got to talking, and yeah, I'm still here because I'm just like.
Dirk started getting sweaty palms that we weren't going to show up for the show today.
It's got the sweatshirt for it.
Oh God,
and yeah,
no!
Open comms.
the Imperium ping worked, so whatever.
And then Rain's here, Brisk is here, Hyper's back, and LB's here. What's up, guys?
Hey.
Oh, and then thanks Herku for the tier 1 sub. 6 months, man. Let's just throw that shot right off the bat. This is something I've been doing, Dirk. I know
Dirk,
we weren't supposed to do it before, but
Because you can't tell us no anymore.
we've just been popping shots right off the
It
bat.
wasn't a matter of me saying no.
I
It
know.
was more a matter of me going, please don't make me start that early. Cause I'm really
Yeah,
shitty
it
at
was
it.
usually like
So-
one of those things. It's like if we started right off the bat, it ended up being an interesting night. But
We're gonna kick this shot off. So shout out
Ooh,
to the
thanks,
New
Peter.
Eden report for actually reporting that BL wasn't dying and then getting super rused by Drayden and I last week. It was actually all a joke for those who didn't catch it at the very end. BL is not dying, but New Eden report still pulled it. So I guess that's a success for Open Comms.
yeah, it's funny because apparently, so
Cruise.
yeah. Okay, so we'll do a shot for that. Op success.
I'm doing a Svedka blue raspberry.
Oh,
I'm
what?
gonna get
Blue
this out of the way real quick.
But well, Rain was telling me that apparently the guy that wrote the article kind of got shit on for that, which doesn't make sense to me at all because his article was accurate.
He doesn't
Yeah.
pull the articles, right? He's not an editor.
Yeah,
is he?
well, yeah, he doesn't pull the article, but like they pulled it, and I guess he got shit for writing it. It's like, no, that article is 100% accurate.
He actually talked to people. That wasn't
Yeah,
his
well, he
fault.
talked, yeah, and then
talked to
we fucked
people.
around on a show that's all about fucking around, and then they pulled it, and then like if anything, I don't know. If anything, it's all our fault because we did that, but.
Yeah, so it was told to me he quote unquote lost his job with the New Eden report, but I don't know how accurate that is.
I'd be super upset if he actually got fired from that thing for
I
writing
would
an
laugh
accurate
so
article,
hard.
and
I
then
would
someone
feel
else pulled it when it
terrible.
was actually correct. So
Yeah, so he talked to Tiana, who is a genuine director, and she was not lying in any of her statement. And
So
then he
you're-
got told that he fucked up.
So
I
you're
feel
saying
like-
that their writer did some investigative journalism and got punished for it? That's,
yeah,
that's
he
fucked.
did genuine investigative journalism. There was no fake news as far as I could tell in that article.
Yeah. Well, the thing with it though is like the only stuff that he said this is what like actually is happening is stuff that was verifiable, like not by word of mouth, even from Tiana.
True, yes.
He said this is what is happening, and it was the corpse that did leave Black Legion, and that's all. He's like, this is guaranteed. And then what's probably not happening is Elo's not leaving and BL is not disbanding. So I don't know. But
That
Ruse
was-
upon ruse.
That was I was really smug about that Saturday and still this week, so
maybe we can
course
gather
we
a bunch of people and go shoot a monument to like get his job back or something.
go
Blow
to
up some
high
freighters in high sec.
Well, I mean, are you guys getting
Does that work?
roost on something happened over at NPR or whatever that is? Like for having roost,
Just
whatever.
Even New Eden, right? NER?
Yeah, whatever.
that's awesome.
No,
Yeah,
I heard
roost.
from a friend
Like,
of a
like
friend.
Russian?
Well, yeah. Are you getting, See, I'm still on the Trump thing. No, yeah, are you getting fucking rused? Sorry, my bad. I'm old. You know what I mean? I don't know these newfangled kids' words.
Damn you, kid.
Do you mean New Eden Report might be counter-rusing their ruse?
Exactly. You know, oh yeah, he lost his job because he, like, you know, I don't know, whatever, reacted to
Trying to make us feel
reacted
bad.
to what was so we did talk about that
We all
last week,
said
right?
that it was obvious, and then these two were like super like, oh yeah, it's real.
We
We're all like,
we were even
okay,
starting.
well if it's real, then I feel bad.
We were even starting to convince Brisk.
Oh, Elo
I mean,
was, like,
that's the thing.
doing
Like,
real
I'm the
bad,
big cynic.
guys.
I'm the big cynic. I thought it was bullshit from the beginning because that's what you guys do. But then you guys were so serious about it. I give you credit. That was
I'm
Oscar
shocked
worthy
none of you.
performance.
So like, as I was like telling the story of like Black Legion in the past month disbanding, I could see all of BL to my left, just like, yeah, Rain, you tell it, yeah, keep going, and I'm like trying not to smile and laugh at them, just like cheering me on for my like terrible
That was
story.
a 20-minute emotional monologue of.
I was
Fine.
like,
It
how
had
do I
cyberbullying, it had
turn
everything in
laughter
it. It
into
was awful.
tears? I was like trying so hard not to make my voice shake and shit.
Oh man, it was good.
But speaking of which, sounds like you guys got a new addition to your Black Legion.
For talking about Busa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so a couple of the insurrection guys joined Busa, and then they brought Busa into the alliance. So it's not, as far as I'm aware, it's not anything new or grandeur. It's just people just wanted to switch corps, so they brought the corp in.
More bodies.
Yeah.
That works.
That's good. How many guys do you have now?
So Origin has 420 in them, but
So we're not
course.
recruiting anymore.
Of course, you
we're
can't
not
change that.
recruiting, and you're not allowed to quit.
We're not recruiting, and yeah, and then
Unless you
can't
can
quit.
get to like 1337, then you can.
Or
get,
if people do
Yeah, yeah.
quit, we'll open up specific spots.
But I think the last numbers, we have like a couple hundred, I want to say like actual people, because people obviously have their alts. So for example, I have like 8 alts in Black Legion. So
Jesus.
it's I want to say it's at least like 100 people. Like if we have big stuff going on, there's at least 100 of us. So it's like small enough to be like quaint and like you kind of know your neighbor type thing, but it's big enough to where we can kind of pack a punch and fill a fleet.
I think full
I-
alliance wise,
I'm-
aren't we up to like 11 or 1200 or something?
Yeah, I think so. It's pretty high.
I mean, well,
Yeah,
I
this
think
is
we
a
were at
pretty
1100
long
before
stint for
Boost. I don't know how
Black
many people Boost is, but
420
something?
members. The
How many
numbers are pretty
people?
high. I see where you're going with this.
well,
How many people or how many characters?
well, characters. Yeah, we're like 1100 characters, which probably means, well, as far as Black Legion,
12
200
people.
Yeah,
13
200 people.
I want to plug some. Can I plug something?
Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
plug something whether you tell me I can or not. Commander A's, everybody's favorite multiple-time CSM candidate, has started streaming on Twitch. He's got almost 100 followers already, which is more than me, so I give him credit for that. And mainly it's because he doesn't have anything to do because the government shut down and he works for DHS. So watch Commander A's on his Twitch stream. I'm going to put the Twitch stream in the chat.
If you want to help a federal employee make ends meet, you can
Watch it, throw him some bits.
Watch the A's stream.
Get
Now
him
that
some
he's-
money.
Now that he's an associate, I think he can maybe get some donations.
Gonna buy some
Throw-
groceries.
throw- some
Affiliate. It's
cheer.
affiliate.
He's an affiliate now, so he
You
gets
can
money.
get bits. You
Oh,
can
yeah,
get
affiliate.
do your sub.
Yeah, if
your
you're an
Amazon
affiliate, you
Prime
can get
sub is
bits
free.
and subs. Yeah. Bits and
There you
subs.
go. Watch
and
his
then-
stream. He was Titan Writing the other day. It was pretty funny.
What's he playing?
It's
Is he
always the
playing Eve?
best. Yeah, he's been playing Eve. I've
he's
been like
playing Eve.
retweeting his thing when he posts it, or if I can.
He's ratting at a fucking Titan.
Dude, that's awesome. I mean,
How
who
does
does
There's a
not
lot of
want to
people
watch
stream
that?
ratting.
It's hilarious.
It's
I'll
actually
log in
ballsy.
the
Like,
right
I mean, props to him if he's gonna be like, yeah, here's
It's not
me in my.
ballsy. He's down in Delve ratting at a Titan. So it's
So he's got the shield of Rorquals around him. Like they have to get
Cannon fodder.
they have to get through the Rorqual wall.
Oh man, that's funny.
Flying in
But
Delve is
I
actually
was actually watching him last night.
Flying
When-
in Delve is
when I
super
saw him,
fun
he was
with
up to
people and their
90 he was up to
Titans.
90 followers, but
There's nothing funnier than flying through Delve and seeing the 4 Titan on a gate smart bombing. That's pretty awesome.
It's actually really fun. We call it, so I know Black Legion did some stuff there in December, and we call it like Titan Bingo or Doomsday Bingo, because it's like Russian roulette of warping to a gate, and if you're gonna land in a Doomsday or not. And I think there was the fleet I remember is we were trying to gate like our 1 bill legions, and like Elo was not really confident, so he had us warping down one by one. and he and a Titan lands, and we're all like, oh no, like everyone's like screaming, and he's like, jump the gate, and then he like sent people while the Doomsday was going off, so we lost a couple legions. But yeah, they're like flying in Delve while you're expected to just get like bombed by like Titans and their Doomsdays. It's actually really entertaining sometimes.
Speaking of smart bombs, I am such an idiot when it comes to flying interceptors and running into smart bombing materials. It's like a thing with me, and I know, and you know, it's just like I know better.
2 kilometers. Get out of the
I
guns.
have pings. Sometimes I usually will brick tank my interceptors, and I know when to worry about it, when to pay attention in local life. But there's just like every other day, something happens and I'm not paying attention, and I go to Jita from Fountain, and I'm on my way back, and I always get fucking nailed in Al Savoinian. It's like a rule. And I know I have a ping on the gate. I've had a ping on the gate for 6 months, and I always forget to use it.
So
I'm not paying attention.
You're in the
and it caught me the other day in my training clone, and I was so pissed.
Wait. So you're in the interceptors, and you're like getting smart bombed as you land on the gate, even when you're.
Because I'm not paying attention. I'm just going. And then they're good at it. They have 2 smart bombing materials. They got their pings on the gate. We do this all the time in Quirius. So I feel bad because it's like I do this all the time. So it's kind of like karma.
I've never had that happen. I know nailed. I've heard that it is possible, even with like the Instaceptors, like the Insta Warp ones, because it's not when you're warping off, it's when you're landing on the gate.
When you're landing, yeah.
Yeah, if you land into smart bombs right before you go.
If you are not paying attention and you're not pinging to the gates, and you basically land before you can jump through, there's like a tick or two, and boom, you're dead.
Yeah, I think it's because you land, and then it's the tick where you're like you land, and then the next tick is where you like do the jump command, and so that one in between where if all the smart bombs go off and hit you, then you take all that damage. But I've never had that happen. But I think I've only come across like a smart bombing battleship on a gate one time, and it wasn't because the thing is like they have to be running them as you're landing.
Right, they know you're. I mean, they have to have eyes in the previous system, and they have to know where you're coming,
and they have to be running them, and they just have to hope that randomly that they get lucky on the cycles and it takes on you because. I've only had that happen once where, I assume it was a smart bombing battleship because it was just a single battleship camping a gate, and he was there when I came through and he was there when I left, but he wasn't running his bombs when I landed, so I didn't.
And you have to, but you can't when you're doing it. If you overheat, you burn it out in one go, so you can't overheat that much. So.
Oh shit! Can I throw a shout out?
Yeah, but it's like
I didn't even notice this. Go ahead, shout out to Yingling, 190 years.
Oh, congrats!
Like on the day.
Congrats.
Well, no, not today, but like
not today. It's just he happens to have a can of it.
1829. Yeah, I didn't even fucking see this. Whatever. I mean, I knew it was like America's oldest brewery and shit like that, but
the Budweiser of Pennsylvania.
1829. Yeah, and this year ends in a 9, so therefore.
Is it
like
Rolling Rock older than them?
No.
Yeah, but isn't Rolling
Rock is neither older, better, or
is Rolling Rock
older?
Is Rolling Rock American?
Yeah, it's Pennsylvania beer.
It's also Pennsylvania. It's out in Latrobe.
Canadian.
Old Latrobe.
I thought it was Canadian.
The best thing about going through one of those smart bomb camps is when you survive with a sliver of hole left, and you're like, "Ha ha, suckers, I'm out."
Until they have one on the next gate.
Well, then you just go to the station, like, I gotta repair.
I brought some like 5 bill worth of implants from Jita up to Venal, and I was flying in a scepter, and the whole time I was like, please don't die, please don't die. I want to be that retard on Z-Kill of like, why didn't I ping? And I just lost everything. And I thankfully didn't die, but it was that was probably like the most nervous I've been lately with
that's me. That's what I do.
I went with the interceptor with 1,000 blueprint copies of capital components. And I was like, I got this.
Oh no.
I think I brought a scepter with about
Did you die?
No, I survived twice doing it because I had 3,000 blueprints.
What was that one? I think I was still in your corp, Dirk, when I took that interceptor to Jita, and it had like a 1.5 billion of shit in it, like just officer stuff, and I was like, I'm just gonna go sell this bullshit because I was like, why bring a jump freighter when I could just reuse it?
You're like, but I got
quicker.
I got an insta warp. I'm like, dude, why would you risk it? Just give it to my guy over here. No, I'm good.
Yeah, because they were telling me, they're like, dude, we got Wardex. I'm like, it'll be fine. Like. I got like they can't catch me on the gate. I have a insta thing on the gate or on the station.
No, hold on. Because back then there wasn't even any of this bullshit nullified insta warp scepter crap.
No, they were nullified at the point. That's why I was like, I'm good, because it was nullified and insta warped. Yeah, And
Did you
so
die,
I got all the way
Brandon?
to. I did.
This was when you were.
I got all the way to Cheetah,
Yeah.
and there was some. It wasn't Code. It was Marmite Collective was sitting on the station. They were one of the war decks we had, and
I
there
don't
was,
know why. If I have an.
I think it was like a
Instant
Sweeple
when I come out
or
of Cheetah,
I don't
and
know if it
there's
was
a bunch of freighters sitting there that I can't just align properly right away.
Yeah, they had like some insta-locking Sweeples or something on the Cheetah station, and I was like, I got through all this stuff fine, and then landed on the station, and when it's like docking permission requested, pop! I was like, what? Damn it!
Now, I will say this: while I tend to get blown up in smart bombing with the smart bombers, I have never died on the Cheetah undock. So that's one thing I can.
Yeah,
I do use my.
that's the only time I have.
Can I toot my own horn? So I streamed
Toot, toot.
last Saturday or Sunday, and there was an actual, I think it was Marmite, and he showed at war, and he was like undocked and like a Tristan. I'm probably gonna die to like 3 new Logi alts or whatever, but I undocked and him and I actually 1v1'd in a Mar. And like I
Wow,
ended up winning.
actual
I
1v1?
know! Like I 1v1'd him and I won, and he was like, oh, good fight. I was like, good fight. And it was like the best thing ever. Like I was like so proud that the fact that, first of all, he honored the fight. Second of all, that somehow no one else third party. The kill mail showed someone third party, but I don't think anyone actually shot him. But it was like, I was super excited. So like props to Marmite.
I was like, congrats to Rain for being the only person to ever get a 1v1 fight with a Marmite guy.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
there you go. Congrats. So another thing I wanted to say was I was worried that Dirk was not going to be on the show today. So to keep me company, when I was at the liquor store, I found this and I bought it, and it's now on my desk.
Oh,
you
yeah,
got
I've
one
seen
with
this.
sweater.
Yeah, my sister. Damn, I didn't get one. My sister's
Mine
got a
from
sweater.
Yeah,
last
they got
year.
they got different sweaters. Yeah.
Yeah.
So cute.
So it's good. It looks like Clemson colors, so I kind of like that.
Yeah, my sister's got one of those sweater things, and what was it? The bar I went to, not New Year's, but it was like, I think it was like a week before Christmas or something, or maybe a week. No, it was the week of Christmas. My friend from New York was in town visiting, and we all went to a bar, and they had one of those on the Tito's bottle behind the bar.
I spent way too much money at the liquor store today, but I got some good stuff. So
That's why you go to Costco.
does Costco have cheap liquor?
Oh
I didn't know
yeah,
that.
like
Oh,
a
yeah.
fifth of Tito's was like $26.
I don't know if they sell. I don't know if they're allowed to sell it in Virginia.
fifth
I
is
gotta go to the
26?
ABC.
Yeah, a fifth for 26.
Damn, dude, I get the 1 liters for $24 out here.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're super cheap out there.
lots of alcohol. But hey, it's Vegas. Whatever, it happens.
Oh yeah. That's
See, and the
actually
way he does it is he does a bottle. He does a handle of Tito's, and then like everything after that is just Kirkland that he pours in there.
It's a never-ending bottle
It's
of
just the
Tito's.
bottle.
Yeah, look, you just keep bringing out the bottles of Tito's. Well, yes, yeah, okay, yes.
Drink that Kirkland shit. It's good times, but no, Kirkland's good stuff. I mean, their Kirkland vodka's great. Their Kirkland tequila's great. Their Kirkland gin's great.
Isn't Kirkland Walmart brand, not Costco?
No, that's
Sadis
Sam's
is
Club.
saying it's Grey Goose, but that is fuck
I
that
don't know.
shit.
I go to
No,
I
it
go to
is,
Walmart.
it
They have Kirkland stuff there. That
I
can't be
don't
just
know. It's
Costco.
usually Sam's Club.
Well,
or-
Sam's Club is Walmart. They're
Right.
both like the same thing, but I
I
don't know.
thought
Maybe it's
Kirkland
just
was
something out
Sam's
in this
Club.
region because, like, yeah, like there's Sam's Clubs out here and there's Walmarts, and they both have Kirkland.
Yeah.
Sadis
There.
says it, so it has to be true.
You
It's
know
not
what?
Grey Goose.
Honestly, anything is possible, and I don't give a shit if it's freaking Kirkland or the Berkeley and Jensen stuff that you get at BJ's.
You still get
Yeah.
drunk.
Well, no.
Well, I mean,
yes.
anything gets
I
drunk.
almost they had Reka at my ABC store. almost
I know
bought it.
silver
Vodka
vodka will
Nice.
get you drunk, but you don't want to drink it.
Right, but no, I mean, look, a lot of those, I remember years ago when those first like these aren't your like Stop and Shop or ShopRite or Kroger's, wherever the hell it is, like name brands. It's like they actually like Costco and BJ's and stuff like that, especially Costco. Costco gets props on it, okay, about like doing a whole lot of fucking work about if we can make a product that is literally just as good as the name brand and sell it cheaper, we will. That's how you know that there is typically a Kirkland signature brand is that they feel that it is close enough to what their name brand competitor would be for them to get in the market.
But still, 1.5 of tequila for $16. and it's not that
Tequila
bad.
though, you don't want to go cheap on
Well,
tequila.
no, see, you don't get a hangover. That's the thing. They do hook up with a lot of the good vendors and get the same stuff. Like even La Croix waters. Now they have the
LaCroix?
knockoff version. LaCroix,
La
LaCroix,
Croix.
LaCroix.
Croix.
I don't know.
There's
We'll
an
let,
X in
we'll
there.
let LB tell us how to pronounce it.
It's La Croix.
Quoi?
LaCroix.
Fetch le bush.
Croix.
Quoi? Fetch le bush.
But now Kirkland has that. I mean, it's the same thing. I don't know. There's a big article. I forget where I read it at, but they go to some of those things like get the extras that same quality or similar quality, and then they just do it like supposedly one of the tequilas is Patron from the same growers of Patron. So I don't know.
That's crazy.
Yeah, can't go wrong.
I'm not a
with
big
Patron.
fan of
What the
tequila,
hell
but
is
I'll-
that
I'll drink it.
Svedka? Is that what that comes in?
Okay, so like I'm running on empty here with like alcohol. I've got like a few beers. Apparently my daughter had a few friends over the other day, and they were down in my man cave, and yeah. Anyways,
Oh
Drink all
man,
your
that's
First
a
off, you let
party
them in the
foul
van.
right
So-
there.
so like I had
McGurk
bought this.
Jr.'s in trouble.
I had bought this for New Year's Eve because she had been talking about how when she's down at school, she has Svedka Blue Raspberry. So it was like I bought some Svedka Blue Raspberry. And
You didn't get 3 bitches?
but then apparently no, I didn't end up getting 3. No, because I ended up getting the peach moonshine shit. And
And Ian
But anyways,
Peaches.
I bought a bottle of this, and then I bought the Fireball and whatnot. And it's like on New Year's Eve, it was like, apparently everybody's sitting there freaking drinking the Fireball, which like there's maybe a couple shots left of that or whatever that's down there. But this was still here. Then like apparently she hit this the other night with the friends, and like slept until like 3 o'clock the next day complaining about. I go, good. You know what? That's the way. Yeah. See, that's yeah.
Why don't you get her on Tito's, which is good
No.
vodka?
No, I don't. I
It's like
yeah,
prescription drugs. Like,
Dirk,
why
I'll
don't you
get
get her on
$1
this
pay
one?
the
allowance too
Well,
much more.
She'll be
Here's the
stealing
thing.
Dad's stash then.
Yeah.
I don't particularly like, whatever. It was like, I know I did at my age. The only thing is it's got to be here. It's got to be at the house. It's got to be like monitored. It's got, like anybody who's here, it's like, has to stay and all that kind of shit. It's like we're really fucking kooky about that. But anyways, this is super fucking blue raspberry. It really is. I mean, like, I'm not like saying super good. I'm just saying like if you happen to be a big fan of blue raspberry, really fucking blue raspberry.
Blue Raspberry Jolly Ranchers are the only good Jolly Ranchers.
What are you nuts?
I'm not taking
Sour
questions
apple.
at this time.
Watermelon.
Sour
Watermelon.
apple.
No, Blue Raspberry.
You're a fucking communist.
Blue raspberry isn't
Send
even
me
a
all
flavor.
your Blue Raspberry Jolly Ranchers. They're
You can send me all the watermelon ones because watermelon's the best.
Deal. We'll do a Jolly Rancher exchange.
I do like the bottle. I mean, the bottle's cute though. You know what I mean? It's like,
It's kind of cool. It looks like a tie-dye shirt.
yeah.
Your hippie
Or like
drink.
one of those like spoons where if you get it hot or get it cold, it changes color.
Like out
Get,
at Vegas, when I had
blue-
been walking around this at the Pride party at the pool and shit, like out, like, yo, what up?
There you go. You'd have been set.
Oh, man. Eve Toronto's going to be during my birthday.
Are you
Oh,
going?
man.
Nah, I'm
That's
too
gonna be
broke to
crazy.
go. If I was rich, I'd
Trade
go.
in. Do a
I'm going on the-
stream.
I'm going on.
Stream and get all the donations to go.
Well,
I
I'm-
was
I
asking
got
Reload
two
about
trips.
that
Dirk
the other day.
Dirk and his daughter are going.
I know,
was
but
asking Reload about that the other day. But
lives
here's
up
the problem,
there.
right? Here's the problem. Yeah, I'm
What's
like
the
five. I'm
problem?
like
There's no
5.5
problem.
yeah,
hours.
like
drive
him
from
going there would be like
someone's
if they had a thing in Seattle, I'd make it because it's about as far away as Toronto is from Dirk. But it's like a. I'm doing the Eve cruise in June, July. But then at the
Now,
end of
how
July,
can you say you can't afford going to Toronto when that cruise is going to be a ton more money?
I could afford going to Toronto or
'Cause
the
he's spending
cruise.
the
I
money on the
can't
cruise.
do both.
Oh, all right.
That's the thing.
Hey,
It's
to
like
do
I'm,
a
I'm-
stream for money. Figure out how much it's gonna cost and just do a stream for it.
no, but the thing is, like after Toronto or after the cruise, at the end of July, I'm doing a trip down to Colorado with my family. That's gonna be a lot cheaper because we're gonna road trip. And I'm gonna split
That's what
gas
mom and
costs
dad are
stuff.
for. They'll pay
Well,
for
I
it.
know, and they're gonna
Don't
be
we
getting
have
a
any
condo,
open
so it's like I'm
comms money?
basically just having to pay for food and split the
No,
gas, so
so
that's why it's gonna be cheaper.
Lose it
But
all to pay
I'm
for
going to
Drayden.
Colorado to climb a mountain.
Drayden, we're in charge of Open Comms out. We can just use Open Comms funds for you to
Yeah,
go to.
don't you have
Well,
open comms money?
We have to have
Oh,
Open Comms out.
speaking of open comms, I gotta get a hold of, I gotta
We
get
do
a-
hookers and blow in Toronto.
in Toronto. They're like, sorry.
With the exchange rate, you can get like 2 for 1.
But here's the problem.
Nice.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
What about one for half
Drayden,
price?
It can't be actually real. I mean, it can't be that expensive. It's Canadian money. It's
So
fake.
yeah,
Like
I
an
was
outlaw.
talking to Reload the other day because I was trying to get some details. I was talking to somebody else about Toronto as well, and it's like, well, the dates are out there. They don't even have a venue yet, apparently, and they don't have a hotel. They're trying to, I guess, or maybe they do have the venue, but they haven't announced it yet. But they
They're
don't have a
announcing
hotel yet.
so CCP, what they said was January 15th they'll announce all the details, which meant like tickets and stuff, which I'm assuming means obviously the venue and obviously hotel discounts.
Yeah.
So we should pretty quickly know where Vegas is going to be, where Toronto's going to be,
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
other meets. I
Eve
think-
Toronto's gonna be Eve Quebec.
Well,
Please.
and the other thing about that is it's also apparently I think it's Pride Week or weekend
Yes,
or
so there's
or
gonna
Of
whatever.
course
be
it is. There's an Eva vote.
22 blocks shut down in downtown Toronto.
Oh no, forget the fact that there's going to be 22 blocks shut down. It's more along the lines of okay, now the whole hotel
Oh
situation
yeah,
becomes
yeah.
a thing,
Hotels are $400 a night, Canadian dollars at the moment.
So that's
Oh,
like
like
$7
$100?
American.
I checked. It's all of them. It's extremely expensive, so I'm hoping whatever discount CCP has at least helps some people afford to go.
I'll go stay in a fucking
Assuming they
Canadian
plan for
igloo with
that.
Some Canadians I know.
I would hope they plan for it because otherwise they're just like I was initially when we had talked about this, I was like super pissed because I'm like, how can you expect people like that's more than Vegas? Like that's double what a Vegas room is, and Vegas is
Ooh,
pretty
yeah.
expensive. And
Even
so-
in Vegas, I was checking out the Tropicana. And I don't know if they're gonna actually be there. Obviously, we'll find out in a couple days. But the Tropicana right now is like 210, 215 for even like 2-bedroom a night for that weekend. So not terrible.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that they at least get a good discount or the venue somewhere where there's a lot of Airbnbs.
Yeah, 400. That seems really expensive.
Well, Pasquale, is that how you say your name? Pasquale say get a hotel near the airport and take the train downtown. So there's Union Station right downtown Toronto. So you have what is it? The Tower, Union Station, and then like that whole kind of downtown area. Everything's like within relative walking distance. And so you could actually probably do that. I've heard great things
It's freaking
about.
Toronto. You can sleep on the street there and nobody's gonna hurt you.
That's true. You could.
God bless Canada.
That'll be interesting. I am curious to see how it works with them announcing everything. And are they going to put out tickets for Vegas too, or just the events that's coming
That's
up?
what I heard.
I think Vegas.
Vegas early
too.
bird tickets were going on
Like
sale.
all of
Yeah.
them.
Wow.
They've
That's
usually
impressive.
done that. Traditionally, they'll do
Separate.
that like during FanFest. They'll like make an announcement like, "Hey, tickets are now early birds are on sale," and they go quick. Like if you're not watching, Dirk was watching. He got the early bird tickets, and he told me like literally 30 seconds to a minute after they went on sale. And I went to the site, and the early ones were sold out. I got the $150 ones were sold out, but I got the $175, so they didn't go up to full price. But yeah, like the $150 tickets sell out within like a minute or two.
That's because people have caught on to the fact of well, especially with Vegas, right? Because Vegas and FanFest, it became a pattern of when they were going to basically release the tickets, which was moments before the end of the closing ceremonies. So like anybody who knew that or whatever, they were and weren't at FanFest or weren't at Vegas, the flip side of it, we're ready, and they're clicking sites and bang, 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 and waiting for it. Although this year they tried to hang it up just a little bit, I think. But yeah, it was still kind of like you generally knew when it was being put out there. Now, how they do this, I don't know. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's going to matter as much. Oh, I guess it depends. Depends on what exactly they're doing at all these things. What kind of like early bird stuff and shit like that they have. Given the fact that all of these are kind of upscaled from where they normally are.
Yeah, and it's really interesting too. So like a lot of these events, so especially like Toronto and then some of the few others, most of the time the Eve meets are just like, hey, come to this bar and hang out all night. Like it's not a ticketed event. Like Eve Down Under has always been like a ticketed event. I think Amsterdam has always been a ticketed event where it's like they have multiple days of multiple things. But like Toronto has been like, hey, let's go to Jack Astor's in Toronto and like everyone hang out. And so for some of these, like they like trying to figure out what you're gonna do compared to like FanFest in Vegas. Like like Friday nights for Vegas is gonna be the pub crawl. Saturday night's gonna be a big party. Sunday is everyone hungover trying to make it to events and the closing ceremonies. But for some of these other ones, it's like you don't really know. So like trying to plan like meetups, knowing if you want to get there early or if you want to stay there later, how much time you're gonna have for things. Like it's all kind of up in the air. So I'm really looking forward to next week when they release more details.
Hopefully some of the Imperium guys that live there have already scouted out some good stuff and they'll have things to pass on.
I'm looking at prices online and they're not, I mean, they're bad, but they're not like New York City bad.
New York City's like a whole other ball game though.
Like I'm finding some of the top hotels are like $300, $270.
Real dollars or fake dollars?
American dollar.
Okay.
So
freedom dollars.
Freedom dollars.
Airbnb
Real
in Toronto.
right now.
Airbnb was actually like really reasonable. Like it was like, 4-bedroom, $70 Canadian a night, and I'm like, holy
that's
shit,
cheap.
what?
That's
Yeah, it was extremely cheap.
That's like
I was like, I'm gonna
$50.
fucking reserve this.
That's like
whole
cheaper than a
floor
Motel
for
6.
myself.
Yeah, resell that.
Yeah.
How much was it?
It was like super. Like I found some places downtown near like Union for like $70, 70 Canadian.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was compared to hotels, it was extremely reasonable.
Yeah, I would find just a cheap ass place. It's like I just need a bed. Like I'd get some super like
Roll a mat out on the
I mean
lawn.
if it's like got sticky floors and bed bugs, I don't want that. But I mean I don't need a nice hotel.
Yeah, for sure.
Have they announced venues for any of this stuff yet?
No.
No, it's
Well,
not for
definitely
Vegas, not
definitely
for
not
Toronto.
Toronto. Yeah, not for
Well,
Toronto.
actually,
I
not
think-
for anything, I don't think yet.
Well, I think
Vegas,
for
there's
Eves-
speculation, but they
Eveser-
haven't released anything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Amsterdam is in March, and I think Amsterdam has been sorted because it's half run by players. So I think Amsterdam's a bit further along.
I'm gonna have to harass because
January.
if I have to stay in a junky place, I might skip Toronto because I'm a snob.
Yeah.
Speaking of meats, I'm just gonna do a quick shout out. Goonswarm and the Imperium has Ice Swarm this year in Texas, February 28th to March 3rd. So any Goons or Imperium members that are coming out, check the forums. Should be a good time.
Why
Wasn't
do they
Ice
call
Swarm
it?
in like Florida last year?
Yeah,
I was
wherever
like,
it's
why do they
warm.
call it Ice Swarm in Texas?
Because it used to always
It used to be in
up
Wisconsin, and it made sense, but they should call it something else then.
Well, I don't know the exact reason.
It's just
but I know.
winter swarm, so they keep calling it Ice Swarm.
Well,
Snowbird
yeah, Ice
Swarm.
Swarm trying to find warmer places like the one in Florida
Sand
last year.
Swarm.
And yeah, so whatever. Summer Swarm somewhere where it's cooler. I don't know. But good times.
Yeah, no, the cruise, like, Toronto would be fun. It would, and it would definitely be cheaper than Vegas, but yeah, no, it's, if I
But
win
it's
the
not
lottery,
Vegas.
I'll go. That's definite. Because I don't know, like, I would assume the flight and all that stuff, it'd probably end up being, I mean, the flight would probably be, like, the majority of the money. Because it's like a 2-day event, 3-day event, so
I don't know. You might want to check Alaska.
I feel like it would still be like $1,000 to $1,500, and I'm not gonna be able to afford to spend that after the cruise, because the cruise is probably gonna be like, when all is said and done, flight, food, everything, and shore excursions, everything. It's probably gonna be like $3,000.
One Canadian.
I'm
dollar
really
is like
worried that you're
75
gonna
cents
fall
now.
off the side of the ship, Trey.
I've been on. No, I won't.
I'll be
No, I
there.
won't.
I'll make sure he's okay.
No, I will not fall off the side of the ship because my biggest phobia in the entire world is sharks, and you could not. If someone pointed a gun at my
There are
head
no
and said
sharks
jump
in
in the
Alaska,
ocean,
baby.
I'd be like, you pull the trigger. I'm not jumping in that fucking ocean.
There are no sharks in
You are
Alaska.
not gonna get me in the ocean ever.
global warming.
No, there's sharks up there. Just not like you're not gonna see great whites or anything up there, but there's sharks, and it doesn't matter.
Fair
It
enough.
doesn't matter.
There are
like
3 types of
There are
sharks.
sharks
and
in the
none of them
ocean?
eat a lot.
yeah.
There are sharks in the ocean, and Alaska's surrounded.
If there
by
was
ocean.
literally one shark left in the entire world, I wouldn't go in the ocean because that's one too many. I don't know.
I was so
And Drake
I was
lives
so
in bear
bummed.
country.
I don't care about
There's a
bears.
congressman in Florida. There's a congressman in Florida who I'm friends with, and he had a fundraiser that we went down for because he's the chairman of one of the subcommittees that we do, and we were going to have a swimming with sharks excursion, and I so wanted to do that, but there was like red tide, and we couldn't go in the water, and they wouldn't let us go out. I was very
You
sad.
should
The red
fix the
tide's been there
economy
for like
or the
years
the.
now.
Maybe you should fix the environment, Brisk.
Run
Have
red
some
light.
Man,
laws.
that red tide was nasty. We were down there. We were at the breakers.
Fix
and
the
I have
environment.
Yeah,
I've
burn
never
more
seen
oil.
like going outside and everybody's hacking and coughing and stuff, and people are like, why is there so many coughing? I said it's the red tide. And my wife blew her mind that the red tide was doing that. So,
Yeah, that's some crazy
it's
shit.
crazy. Luckily, you don't have to worry about that in Las Vegas. There.
No, we just have a lake where we have dead bodies at the bottom.
Well, you know,
Mini,
that's what
mini
happens.
bodies.
Oh, holes in the desert.
No, it's a joke.
Oh.
It's a mob joke about that there's a bunch of bodies that are tied to the bottom of Lake Mead.
Oh,
And actually,
oh.
one amateur diving group went down to the bottom and anchored down like fake skeletons and like lawn chairs and stuff. So you can go dive down there, 50, 60 feet down and see the skeletons and stuff. But can you imagine not knowing that those were put there and then just be diving and see like all these skeletons? Be like, what the hell? But no, Lake Mead's a great place. Only problem is it's getting dangerously low, so we might have to cut off California water so we can keep boating.
Exactly. Dude, that's been like getting low for like years. I remember when I did the helicopter tour out there 3 years ago, was it, Drayden? It was
that
definitely
was-
down at that point, and I don't think they've had rain since. So
Yeah, I
we
think
get
that was
rain for like twice a year.
No, that was 2 years ago. I think
no,
it was.
it was
three?
it was definitely back when we were at Planet
Planet
Hollywood.
Okay, yeah, that's 3 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, when you go now, you can see the water lines from before, and they're like 100 good odd feet above the water level that you're at right now. So I'm gonna enjoy that lake as much as I can with the boat. Do some skiing and wakeboarding. Wakeboarding is my favorite.
Who's
Yeah.
got the like
phone
Motorola
going?
sound going on?
Sorry, I'll mute my phone. I was talking I got a work message of all things.
It's the worst. It's the weekend. Tell them to heck off.
I was at work
know.
today and my phone went off because somebody was like massively pinging in the ping channel, and it wasn't even FC. It was people talking because they're dumb. And a very prominent person that you all know was like, "Why is your phone buzzing?" I said, "Because I know a lot of dumb people."
You didn't say this is a space emergency?
Wait, who
I
is
did
this?
not. I'm not going to talk about it. Let's just say you've seen her on TV.
Nancy
I don't watch-
Pelosi.
Brisk, you are assuming that I have TV and or cable. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm a
All right,
millennial.
Drayden
We don't
got
do
it.
that stuff.
Right?
Oh, I was
Drayden
right.
got it right.
I just
Oh.
steal Netflix.
He was
accounts.
out with Milosevic.
I was like, as far as like women in
Okay.
politics,
Man,
it's like I
battle
know
taking place.
I know Pelosi, I know Clinton, and then who was that senator lady from Alaska who tried to run for president?
Palin.
Palin.
Yeah.
That's like the only ones I know.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
and
TV
Condoleezza Rice,
show.
but she's retired.
She was a
isn't
governor.
She? That,
We have
that's
a lot
it.
of cool people running.
That's
for
it. Like
president.
other than that, it's like I don't know any other politicians.
Brisk, you should have said this. Oh, that's my vibrator.
So, that would have been worse. That would have been bad. The other thing I always get crap for is when I have my phone not on vibrate, it has a bosun's whistle when it goes off, and if I'm anywhere in an office, all my guys freak out because they hate that sound.
Oh man.
I'm not-
Eve Onion slamming you dirt.
Uh,
It's like this is like a bad Eve Onion tweet. Host retires but continues to show up.
oh,
Eve,
Not a
Onion,
house,
just
man.
tweet
Funny
that.
one.
Opus, just tweet
I'm
that.
just here. I'm like some other random fucker on here.
Alright, I'm gonna do a shot.
just like the
Yes.
rest of us.
Oh man, and what was it? I guess it was last month. Voyager 2 officially went into the past the
outer
heliopause,
space.
and it's
Yeah.
interstellar space. So we have 2 spacecraft in interstellar space now.
Well, at least as long as we don't have to get Matt Damon rescue him again from space.
We have 2 in out interstellar space, and unfortunately, the Kardashians are on neither one.
Oh man. What are
I don't
the
think
aliens
I
gonna
want-
do?
So, do you guys want to talk
intelligent.
about any Eve stuff? Because we haven't really
Yeah,
talked
yeah,
about
we,
any Eve stuff
um,
yet. We're only an hour into the show.
An
There's
hour
the
already?
MER. There's a patch note coming next Tuesday. We have
Patch
the
note looking
test.
interesting.
Now, I
test
would like to
stuff
say
going-
for the patch stuff, I'm kind of happy about the way the patch notes read this time, because if you look at the patch notes, there's nothing crazy happening. There's There's not a lot of new stuff. It's all bug fixes.
It's all
Quality
fixes.
of life
I
stuff.
actually like that. They're like,
Isn't that what
hey,
people want? Everybody
quality
bitch,
of
oh, they
life
fixed the game.
things.
There's a ton of stuff they fixed.
Yeah, no, it's like all quality of life. There's some stuff where I was reading it and I was like, why did they change that? And then they'd be like, oh, this has already been happening. We just made it a bit more transparent or something like that. And I don't know. I really like the way they were done. I don't think there's, in my opinion, I don't think there's anything like too noteworthy in there, like anything too revolutionary. I think
Except
the biggest
maybe the chat issues.
Well, the chat thing, they did.
that was a
Chat's-
separate.
chat's
That
a
was a
different
separate
topic.
thing.
Falcon
Yeah.
did a blog, I guess it was it yesterday or the day before,
It
I think it was
sometime this
yesterday.
week. Yeah.
on the chat problems. And one of the things that CCP gets a lot of shit for, and deservedly, because when they fuck up, they deserve to get crap for it. They had a tendency to screw something up and then let it sit for like a year and not do anything about it. And then they try to fix it a little bit, and then they let it sit for another year and they do nothing about it. Or something along the lines, they break something or something that's unbalanced and it just goes out for a long time because they don't want to go back and revisit it because they're on to the next thing. The fact that they are considering rolling back the chat stuff, that's a huge deal. And that's not an easy or quick thing to do.
That's something I've never seen them say before. I've never, because they've always said like, oh, we're going to work on this. We're going to get you. I've never seen them say we're going to do our best to fix it. And if we can't, we'll just go back to something that we know works. Like that's.
Well,
And
here's
that's-
my concern.
I think
though.
that's huge. I'm very happy to see that.
Well, here's my concern. Weren't they talking about how the chat changes and separate to the, whatever the Amazon AWS or whatever it's at now? That was supposed to help improve performance and get towards the whole 64-bit architecture? Or was that
I
not?
think it was. I don't think it was part of the 64-bit. I think it was trying to offload as much non-critical infrastructure off of the servers as they could.
It
and
was-
put
the
them
chat.
onto
You
something
talking about the
else.
chat stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
They
kind of like
completely redid the whole chat thing as part of the future-proofing stuff. Like, again,
Right.
it was to separate. Yeah.
trying to put things into the future, like get rid of legacy code type shit and whatnot.
Well, it was trying to remove the load off of the single, like whatever set list, like not set list, I don't know, but it was kind of like around the same time. It was after they did Brain in a Box, and that was something that kind of like removed a section of computing from the main, lines of stuff that the server would have to run. It kind of did it off to the side, and I think they were trying to do that with the chat too. Wasn't that what they did? Like to where like the chat was handled
and-
separately from
right,
the.
and that's it went from being on the London servers to being on AWS server somewhere else. And from what I understand, from what the guys were saying, the new servers, the AWS servers, can handle the load. They can handle people chatting all the time, and even when test is spurging, everybody's going crazy. What was driving it nuts was the constant people flipping from system to system. So in the places with massive numbers of jumps, like JITA, perimeter, it was fucking up there the most, and that was the biggest problem. So they couldn't handle all the constant server changes. So, I mean, I hope they fixed it. And everybody is giving them criticism for not work. Why did it take 10 months? The thing is, it's not that it took 10 months. They've been working on fixes like all the time. Like we were bitching at them for, at least CSM wise, all the time, saying, hey, chat's fucked up, fucked up. What are you working on? What are you working on? And it was a constant thing, but it just never gelled. So I guess they're kind of at the point where now it's like, all right, it's been 10 months. This is still not working, no matter how many times we fix it. It's time to look at rolling it back. And that right there, I mean, for all the cynics and the CCP cynics, and granted, they give everybody a lot of reason to be cynical. It's like Drayden said. I mean, how many times have you heard them say, "All right, this didn't work. We're going to roll it back"? I mean,
Not
once. It
Mm,
almost never
I
happens.
can't.
I've been
It's
playing
really
I think
for
one time,
6.5
but not really.
years.
I can't think of anyone.
Actually, no. This coming up on 7 years in like a month. That I've played this game, and I've never seen them say that once. They've always just like, okay,
Even,
that didn't
like,
work. Sorry, we're gonna try
interceptor
this. We're gonna try. They
notification.
keep trying new stuff. They never say, fuck it, and scrap it and go back to something old. The only time they scrap stuff is like when they scrap stuff for good, like World of Darkness and Dust.
Well, even then, they didn't scrap it. They just sold it. I mean, they sold the World of Darkness IP. They made money off of it.
Well, what's
Paradox
also
hasn't.
interesting is Noisy Gamer brings up a good point because with the issue with changing it to Amazon AWS, a lot of the Russian players couldn't get access to it because of the KGB or whatever that agency is blocked it. So if they do switch it back, a lot of the Russian people will be able to have chats again.
Were the Russians constantly struggling for like the past 10 months to be able to try and play because of the chat issues, or was that just initially?
I don't know. I completely forgot about it until Nosy brought up in chat about being an issue. So I'd have to check with my Russian colleagues and see what they say.
Yeah, because I was gonna say like we have like BL, we have some Russian folks or whatever, and I have not heard them complain about it.
Well, they
Yeah,
have
I
to use a
think it was a
VPN,
work-
right?
Yeah,
was that
I
how?
think they had to use
Yeah.
that.
Oh, okay.
So
Tiana
I mean, maybe
Russian?
now they won't need a VPN anymore.
I know she
Which
lives
is
in
She
the,
is.
she lives
She
in the
lives
US,
in the US.
But she is Russian.
Yeah.
Okay,
as
I
far
was
as
gonna
I'm
say she
aware.
sounded Russian. I couldn't tell, but I was like, I mixed. Sometimes I'll like be like, oh, it sounds Russian. It's like, no, that's Romanian or something.
Mu-
I was like, oh,
Mueller hasn't gotten her yet.
GigX is in your alliance now. Romanians.
oh, is he
As far as I
Romanian?
know, we don't have.
I thought he was
Romanians.
Serbian.
No,
Is he Serbian?
he
I
is.
can't.
Tiana's
it's
Russian.
Somewhere from the
Serbian.
Balkans. I can't remember.
Yeah,
Serbian. All right, there you go.
ex-Russian locations.
There you go. Former
yeah,
Yugoslav Republic.
former Soviets.
Yeah, Russian, Soviet, USSRs.
Dirty commies.
yeah. So the
did
patch.
anything happen like game wise this week? I mean, it looks like Test was eating shit. And
Excuse me. I actually got like
Oh,
a
here
shit
we
ton of
go.
people watching me stream some shitty fucking fight. So
What-
last
What
was
test
this?
fight?
yeah, so last week Saturday, Test, I think quote unquote officially quote unquote kicked off their campaign to invade Jiminit. So I know goons
Which
have been
seems to
there.
be going kind of shitty, by the way. If you
Yeah,
noticed.
well, so the thing is like this
'Cause
isn't
Killer Bee.
something new. Like goon sigs have been in Jiminit. Test apparently has been in Jiminit. Like I know I've gone on fleets to fight them, or I've seen pings to fight them, or whatever. But last night, so I think this was actually over a pause. So it went back and forth with escalation to where NCPL Pandemic Horde jumped in Titans and Supers and were just dunking on test dreads. And when I mean dunking on test dreads, it was like hundreds of billions and ISK lost. And then I started actually streaming it because I was like, oh shit, stuff's going on. And like no one knew what was going on because no one was streaming it. So I went and watched, and it was actually like Horde, PL, NC dot, all against exclusively Test. I initially thought goons are there. I actually didn't find any goons. So it was like
the kill
a
report
Test.
shows goons like the. for
When
the
I
re-
was at-
the region battle, like the kill report shows like on Test side that shows like Bastion, TNT, goons,
How many
Initiative
though?
mercenaries, drone walkers snuffed out.
How many though? Because like when I was
Yogurt
looking at
and
like
binary, who the hell is that?
I don't know.
But like so when I was watching it, it was like Test had an Eagle fleet, Test had an Eagle fleet, Test had like an assault frigate fleet, and like they were pinging around. It was a faction Fortizar that for some reason Horde, I don't know why the Cap fleet ended up where the Cap fleet did. So the PanFam Cap fleet ended up on one of the faction Fortizars that Test had dropped in Ojanen or whatever.
Oh, China.
Ojina or whatever.
China.
And so
China.
and so I was like watching
Ojanen?
I was watching the Cat fleet because they were just dunking on the dreads. And then subcaps came, so you had like NC Dot and Apox, Test or Horde had Ishtars, PL had like I believe Jackdaws and Kyrans, and then Test had Eagle fleet as well as a assault frigate fleet, and they so all the supers got out. I think a couple straggled behind, so people were like trying to jump on them, and it was just like a super like a 30-minute hour brawl between subcaps, just like dunking on each other. But I want to say
I
at the
Yeah,
I don't get Eagle fleets. I really don't get it.
looking
Like
at the,
every time we've seen an Eagle
I'm-
fleet on grid, we have totally decimated it with a bombing run.
I feel like they get
and I mean,
kited
it's
really
like-
easy.
So the
Well,
thing is,
it's-
in low sec, this was
they
in
have
low sec though, so there
long
no
range, but-
bombs,
Oh.
no
Totally
bo-
different
no like
dynamic.
AOE bosons. You had like the best you could do is like smart bombs. So I know the Apox had Balgorns with them, and they were just like they were just endlessly smart bombing. I think the Kyrans might have the Kyrans with the Eagles might have gotten pretty dunked by those.
Because
Okay,
every
so,
time
No,
I see
there was a
Eagles on
shit ton
grid,
of-
they seem like they're just going to get destroyed.
yeah,
They've
so-
got range, but they got no DPS. So it's like, why not run something else? I don't know. I'm just
I don't know-
surprised that
I don't
the
know
Eagles
either.
are like still a doctrine.
Looking at the
So
kill
I would-
report,
I would-
looks like Goons just brought some Ishtars and a couple T3s. So that's
See,
probably-
I mean, if you're going to bring an
I
Eagle
didn't even
fleet, just
see
bring
them
out a
landing
Ferox
anywhere.
fleet and be done with it. I mean, that's I don't know.
But so the Eagles landed at 0 on the Apox, and the Apox were trying to move away. And so this was, someone brought up tie-dye. This was full fucking tie-dye. It was like between 10 and 15% the whole time. It was
You
absolutely
guys had like 2,000
atrocious.
people on grid, right?
So you're saying it was
only
full
1,000.
fucking tie-dye,
Only
but not
1,000?
full fucking
Okay.
tie-dye.
It was full tie. I mean,
Full
when
tie-dye,
people
but
were
not the
brawl-
beyond
when
A
people were
tie-dye.
brawling, it
thousand
was
dudes
full
on a
tie-dye.
non-reinforced node is going to get you full time.
Yeah. So
Well,
it was.
she said it was between 10 and 15%. So
Well,
Yeah.
it was one of those things of like, if once, so like when a fleet would ping, tie-dye would just drop because there was less like of the crime watch bullshit or the bounty bullshit or like all pings to the server. So you could tell like when a fight, like when people were bailing and warping away, like tie-dye was dropping, even though it was the same amount of people on local. Everyone's
Yeah.
crying about. But yeah, no, so like PanFam definitely won the Super Cap / Capital Brawl. I don't really know who actually won the Sub Cap Brawl. It was actually really interesting to see because it looked like PanFam had more different types of fleets, but at the end of the day, they ended up leaving. I don't know if they left while they were ahead or if they left because they were being pushed out.
So who all seems to be involved up there?
No,
so,
it looks.
so this is a test. This is a
Test
legacy.
and so I can't speak for Legacy, but I know Test, I believe they announced last Saturday that they were invading Geminate. And so Geminate is held by Pandemic Horde, but obviously you have NC Dot and Pandemic Legion nearby. I believe NC Dot was in, what is it, Tribute or something, but they are both nearby, obviously showing up to fights. Horde has a shit ton of people, I want to say, compared to almost anyone else. So they are endlessly showing up to fights. I know in that brawl they had 2 fleets. Shout out to all the newbie Horde stabbers. I watched a shit ton of Horde stabbers warp in and feed, but because of that, all the rest of PanFam was able to just fucking dunk on Test. So
what
mad
day
props
was this
to
reign?
newbies. This was yesterday. This was happening
Okay, all
yesterday.
right. So this was the 300 billion like dread laws that they had.
yes.
Yeah.
Didn't they have
This
another
is where all
fleet
the
like a week ago where they got dunked
PGL
too?
memes are coming on us.
I thought like last weekend there had been a shit ton of like pings with Horde defending or Test fighting, like this and that. There had been stuff happening in Lowsec, Nullsec with Geminate where Horde is staged, but also I've also been hearing HighSec, like apparently Test has been doing non-stop work in HighSec with war decks and clearing out citadels and trying to get like whatever HighSec trade thing they got going on up there.
Damn, this is like the best actual like war deck I've ever seen. I mean, I'm looking at the war report for the fights between Test and Horde because they're in an actual like a legitimate like war deck declared war. And Test has killed 564 billion worth of Horde shit, and Horde has killed 401 billion worth of their stuff. I mean, it's almost $1 trillion fight, trillion-esque fight, with like over almost 20,000 kills. That's like the best war deck in the history of EVE. I mean, I can't believe it.
It's even
This is
better the
great.
fact that they're like Test is winning, but it's still like even it's not like Marmite where they just like hyper dunk on all these newbie corps and shit like that.
So it's
Randos
it's a
are
null
just
it's a
joining.
nullsec war, just using the war deck system.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
So-
sure it's called. It's
Yeah.
also HighSec too, because Horde's still fighting for perimeter, and they're still fighting each other for trying to take over the.
And
you know,
it
the-
helps
all
so. Well, I was gonna say Ojanin is low sec. So what a lot of people don't realize is that like when
Ojanin.
you're Ojanin, I'm gonna say it differently every time.
Parameter.
Oijanan.
But but
Jida.
it's low sec, right? So if you have a lot of people don't realize when you're in low sec and you aggress someone, if you're not at war with them and they have positive sex status or they're not
You get-
suspect
you
/
get
criminal,
Pounded.
you get penalized. Well, the problem is when you have fleets versus fleets doing this, you get tons of spam to the server, which is why low sec fights are always like massive lag on the server, and you get shit tons of tie dye, even if it's like 100 versus 100, because what you have is like that crime,
The crime
what is it,
watch.
crime
The crime
watch.
watch stuff
and all
kills
this-
you in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's extremely frustrating as like when you're trying to fly in it, let alone if you're like trying to watch it or understand what's going on. So it's actually pretty smart for Test, Horde, anyone else involved to just like war deck each other, because then it's like, oh yeah, we pay whatever much fee, but at least our fights are somewhat reasonable. We don't have to suffer through 10% tie dye just to like brawl with 1,000 people.
I mean, this is great. This stuff is great. I love this. Pando, we got a third party this war. If you're watching, we need a third party this war like right now.
Panda, make sure
I
you
wanna go down
make
there.
sure you war deck before you join.
We need to go fight these guys.
Yeah,
It
just
looks
have like a
it's fun.
threesome.
I like
But
the
no.
third party. We don't get the third party enough.
No,
haven't done that
from what
well.
I can tell, like
Is
I
it
mean,
engaged enough to like third party, or is a third party at this point going to stall? You know, is it going to abort the?
The campaign hasn't even started yet. It starts tomorrow. When Piggle
I
announced
thought
it
it
last
started-
week. No, he announced it last week that they were going to invade Geminate, and the campaign starts tomorrow. So technically, that fight you had on Thursday wasn't even part of the war. Doesn't even count.
I don't even care. I
was a
really
warm
don't
up,
care.
a warm up.
Erase,
Let's
undo.
fight. Let's fight all of them. Let's blow up Horde and then blow up Test when we're done with that. I think that would be fun.
I mean,
No,
I
it
don't know.
looks like a lot of
Bro.
fun. I'm really glad Black Legion didn't join, but I went and just like sat on a Fortizar and watched. It looked like everyone was having a shit ton of fun despite like the tie-dye.
Just start logging.
Well,
off
if it was
Thursdays
jump
and
between
whatever.
10 and 15%, that makes me think that it was tie-dye that was heavy tie-dye, but not the beyond, because, you know, where it stops at 10%, but it's
Not
like
Yeah,
realistic,
it
like
wasn't like-
0.1%.
Yeah,
so,
it wasn't like a
10%
the game.
is the top.
Yeah, I know.
It
That's
wasn't
as low as
a,
it'll
the game
say.
wasn't
but-
responding. From what I can tell, the servers the servers were working. It wasn't like the game wasn't responding and people were just randomly
Yeah.
DCing like that normally happens. As that was as far as I could tell.
If it's actual 10% tie-dye and actually around 10%, it's really slow, but it's not terrible. Like if
I
all
don't
your
care
commands
as
are,
long as
if the commands are working and
being
stuff, and it's like-
correct.
yeah, because when it actually just feels like slow motion as opposed to you're looking at it going like, is this actually fucking working?
Did
I
this
don't know.
clip- did
Nothing's
this actually
happening in an
Am I
hour.
still here,
I
or
don't
my
know
PC?
if, like, is my client broken? Like, did I break it?
That's why I can't wait until the 64-bit architecture comes into play, because I really hope it helps a lot, because that would make things so much more interesting, so much more fun.
Well, I think what it'll help is the problem that I have 95% of the time in the heavy tie-dye super lag fights. It's not that I get socket close or anything like that. I get the memory overload random drops, and then it takes forever to log back in.
Mhm.
So if those stop because of the 64-bit client, then I'm fine with it. You know,
Yeah, it's going to
Yeah.
help client side. It's not going to help server side.
Yeah, still, I mean, but client side is a huge part of it.
I just don't want to sit on a load-in screen like I did at 9TAC4 on two of my
And
clients.
X47.
X47, I was
UALX.
actually, you know what I did? This is stupid, but I did it. I actually got another computer and brought it downstairs and put my fax on the other one, and
Huh.
that kind of helped a little bit. But it was
Yeah,
like, this is just nuts. I don't want to do that anymore. I have a computer that I can, you know, triple, quadruple box stuff on. I want to be able to do it on that one.
Exactly.
So 64-bit client as soon as possible.
Most definitely. Yeah. Looking forward to it. I guess it's supposed to be soon at TM, but in the next,
Yeah.
2 months?
It's in
Winter.
the
I'm saying
winter
winter.
update, but it's Iceland, so there's winter.
So let's do a shot
All
to
the-
I
all
have
those.
till June.
Let's do a shot to all the test guys that got killed. Sorry, Test. Congrats,
Sorry,
Beal
Test.
and
Shots.
Horde.
Rip.
I'm just gonna link this shot to the next thing because it's kind of a throwback actually.
You're in review?
Your retirement?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't year in review. It was when that whole thing went down in the fucking wormhole, and like people wanted to make it out like it wasn't a big fucking thing. And maybe for some people out there, it wasn't a big thing, but there was a lot of planning into it. It got an
It was
article
real to
out
me,
there-
damn it.
Yeah, it got an
Eric,
article out
stop
in-
glorifying structure bashes.
it got an article out there on Kotaku that actually caught the attention of a number of people that I saw out on Twitter, like not from sort of the Eve world, but more from kind of the sci-fi world or shit like that, which I thought was really kind of fucking cool that they were picking up on kind of this story that got written. And you know they were commenting about it both from an Eve perspective about, wow, you know, Eve and its stories are really fucking cool, but also like, you know, video games are really cool and shit like that. But I don't know, just whatever. Anytime Eve can kind of get some like kind of cool press that sort of extends out into, you know, the fucking, you know, civilian world, that's kind of cool.
Now, I will drink to that, but what I will also
Oh,
say
God,
is
fucking blue
that-
raspberry. Oh my God.
that thread
So
on
good.
Twitter, if you go find the Kotaku article, somebody wrote something about it, and it had like a ton of people that were looking at it. I commented on it too. I think I retweeted it on my account, so you can probably go find it from my Twitter. The one comment that drives me absolutely batshit insane that I see every single time anybody does an article about Eve is the best game that I'm never going to play, but I love to read stories about it.
You see that in the
Like,
comments
Jesus
Yeah.
of
Christ,
every-
just
Yeah.
stop.
every
Play the fucking
single-
game.
every single gaming media, okay, like outside of our Eve media type stuff, you know, INN and NPER and shit like that, right? Like everything that you get out there, whether it's Kotaku, whether it's PC Gamer, whether it's any of these things, down in the comments, you will always see that. Wow, these fucking start. I tried playing it once, fuck that game, but man, I love the stories. It's just
Yeah.
like
And that just, it drives me crazy because it's like, guys, you can be in these stories if you actually play the game. So instead of just reading about them, you could actually be here and say, I was there.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
hard. Come on.
I feel like it's the people though,
Play the
because
fucking game.
Eve takes a bit of a, not just like this. It's not the skill entry bar that it used to be. Not just because of skill injectors, but just there's a lot of useful stuff that you can use early that were never really things back in the day. As far as like larger alliances or even just all groups, because a lot of people are using cheap ass, I don't know, I guess shitty ships.
Yeah,
Like, a
like
lot more
horde,
commonly.
But that's the thing.
stabber
Yeah.
fish.
So what? I mean, you.
Well, no,
the
no,
bottom-
I'm saying that's good because I not
Alpha
saying like
fleets are a thing.
yeah,
I mean,
with
the
the
fact
whole
that you can play the game for free now. I mean, there's really no reason. for
That's
these
the other
guys to
thing.
Keep with that shit.
That's the other thing.
Well,
is you can give it a
free.
shot and play it for free and still be effective and play it for free
I
and then
mean-
see if you like it or not. But it's got a bit of an entry of commitment in the fact that it's kind of a complex game and a lot of the controls are like, it's kind of overwhelming. It's not one of those games you can just pop in and be like, it's like tutorial. It's like, nah, I'll figure it out. You can't really do that with Eve.
Well, because
Um,
it's a stigma. Yeah, any game that's had over a decade or almost 11 years, 12 years now.
15.
Jeez, that's a long time. For a lot of us, it's a hobby at this point. But I agree with Saduk in chat. Eve is easy now compared to when we started.
Oh hell yes.
But
You
the
just,
I mean, I
stigma's
didn't-
still
you
I-
there.
spawned
you-
in
you don't
space
have to
in a ship
train
and was
training
told,
skills.
Good luck.
You don't got to buy bookmarks to be
Yeah.
able to get the
The
zero on the
stigma
gates
is still
anymore.
there that
I mean,
because the game is 15 years old, they assume that everybody has been playing it for 15 years, and as soon as they log in, there's going to be Titans, carriers, and everything everywhere. They're not going to be able to play.
Well, that's the
That's-
weird thing
That
too.
is how it is.
Well,
That's super. It's
In
like
some
Drayden has
spots,
been
yeah.
playing 6.5 years. I've been technically my 5th year birthday is coming up, but like I know some FCs who have been playing literally like 2 years, and then like one of my close friends who's a Logi FC for Horde, she's been playing a year, and it's like tons of these people that I know have been playing less time than me, but have done more than me or have like learned some different aspect of the game and that they're experts in, and like
I mean,
I
there
know
are
nothing
there
about.
are so many BTEC R babies that came in right after that fight.
That was me.
that-
That's me.
I mean,
BTEC R
that's
babies
that
are
was how a
5.
lot of. I mean, that's what that got me back. I've been playing since 2006, but it took a while to. I mean, I was like a high sec Care Bear the whole time. It took the big fights like that to get me back in the game again. But it's like a lot of these guys are, they should try it out, and it drives. And every time I see that, I want to punch something because it's just like, guys, you can be a part of this if you just
Well, a lot of us
log
are
in.
bitter old vets.
for
at
all
this
for
point.
all the people that
And
are
but
out there
Pando's
that
point is
actually-
true about there's not enough PvP in the new player experience. I agree. with that.
For all the people that are out there, or for all the comments that you see, and when you see them in all the articles, and they typically are again out there on the general gaming media, type sites. Look, that's still kind of cool because that means that there's somebody out there who doesn't play Eve that's reading it that is interested in it, and for that guy, there's somebody else who's going to try it, maybe new, right? Like, that person may have tried it years ago, decided they were never going to come back, but there might be somebody else who reads that article who isn't old and like a bitter gamer of any kind, hasn't tried it before, that that might come try it. Or maybe there's 3 of those people that might come try it, and like 1/8 of them will, actually stick around.
Well, like for me, I was inspired way back in the days of the Bob destruction, the infiltration and destruction of a Bob. That was what's cool to me. And look, now I'm head spy. I do that stuff on a daily basis. Well, not on a daily basis of flipping stuff all the time, but still, it's those things. It's those events that bring people in and makes them want to be there. Like I knew one person that he saw BTEC-R, and he's like, he wondered how it would be to be the person in charge of coordinating all that. Now he's a coordinator for the Imperium, and that's what he's dreamed to and aspired to, and then now he's there and he's having a blast. So we definitely need more of those events and stuff to draw more people in, and hopefully it continues and we can get another decade out of this.
Yeah, I'm reading what Droth and Panda were talking about in chat, and it's absolutely. I mean, that's absolutely true. When I started in 2006, I got in right before the Bob stuff went down, the Big Bob War, and I was so scared when I first started playing this game. And I came from Star Wars Galaxies, which was a pretty hardcore PvP where we were.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I was on the East Coast PvP server. I was a PvPer. That's what I did. And everybody said, "Oh, you got to try Eve. It's spaceships. It's hardcore PvP. If you die, you lose all your shit. It's crazy." So, like, for the first 4 months I played the game, I don't think I even undocked because I was so scared I was going to instantly die as soon as I left the station. And, I mean, it was to the point where I trained up all my training skills and I got ready to go, and I bought the bookmarks from the guy, and I was ready to go out, and I started doing stuff, and I started playing, but I was by myself, and it was boring. You know, but nowadays, you can start out, you can get in Karma Fleet, you can get in Horde, you can get in Brave, you can go to Nullsec, you can stay in Highsec if you want, but it's like there's so many different ways to get started. It drives me absolutely nuts when people say that, because I know it's like, you know what, if you like reading these stories, you'll like it even more if you're there when it happens, because that shit is cool.
I don't know, like some of the stories are
there.
really fucking cool.
They are
Like,
cool, but I mean, look,
and it was
how
always
many
cool
how
for
many
me,
cool
and it
stories
was-
have happened? Dirk, how many cool stories have happened since we've been playing? That, like, when I see that, when I read in, when my kid goes and buys, you know,
I was
Guinness
at the
Book of
Lazimo.
Gaming,
I remember
Gaming
the
World
Lazimo.
Records. When my kid buys like this Gaming Book of World Records, and I flip to the page that's got Guard and Falcon standing with the trophy of the most players, concurrent players online at one time. So, you know, Guinness Book of World Records thing. I say, hey Nick, I was there, and you know what? These two guys, I've gotten drunk with them. I know who they are. He's like, wow, Dad, that's cool. And
you know,
it's like, that's the
that
stuff
is
that you
one of
can
the things,
do.
Guess
like
who
the
I've gotten
being
drunk
there.
with, son?
Well,
Like,
see,
you
yeah, I
know,
remember
It
BTEC.
is
I was
what's kind of
tackling,
crazy about the whole
Short
being
Dragon.
there thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
the idea that yes, you were there. You know that you were fucking gritting your teeth and being like, "Oh, for the fuck's sake, can the server please hold?" Like
Do
during
you
the
guys
whole
want to
thing.
hear
But then
something
at the end
really
of it, you're like,
embarrassing?
but I was there.
Yes.
So today I had to do some stupid ass intro thing at work, and they said one interesting fact. And my interesting fact was I am a TV host and tournament commentator for a video game. The
That's
guy
not
fucking
crazy. That's
Dude,
good.
it's
Still
fucking
cool, though.
embarrassing though. Like, that's my interesting fact is my life, my second life revolves around
Nowadays?
this game.
What was the reaction to that?
Well,
I was like,
Someone asked me
maybe
what game,
20
and I
years
said-
ago.
Yeah,
Eve
exactly.
Online.
What game? And that's
What
the
game?
worst part is when they
Eve
go, "Oh, really? What
Online."
game?"
But Rain,
Like,
the thing
oh,
is,
fuck,
if
you
you
don't
said-
know this.
But you know what? I'll tell you. Every time I have a lot of friends who have kids that are older, and for example, one of my buddies in politics, who's one of my mentors, great friend, I've known him forever. His son is a professional Call of Duty like gamer. The guy makes money, and he's on all these pro teams and shit. And he does this. I mean, he's in college now, but he does this as a side gig. But he's gone to all kinds of tournaments, done all kinds of stuff. And I laugh with him because he knows I'm a gamer too. And they ask, well, what do you play? And I said, Eve. He's like, holy shit, that game is so hardcore, I could never play it. I'm like, this guy's a professional gamer, and he's saying, oh wow, I respect you.
That's
for
when you
playing
just
that game.
fold your
That's
arms. You're like,
cool.
yeah, get good, son.
Yeah, I'm
I
like,
troll-
exactly.
I
Like,
trolled nerds
someday you'll
in
grow up and
Atlas.
play Eve.
If you guys have ever played Atlas, I troll people. I'm like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm an Eve player, and like they get fucking mad. They're like, oh, Eve's not a game. It doesn't have a tournament scene, and I'm like, whoa, whoa, let me educate you a second.
like Atlas does. What the?
No, Alex
It doesn't
is a
take
piece of
Adderall
shit
unless
buggy
you're an
game, but
FC.
it's so much fun.
I like playing Atlas,
That's
but
cocaine.
I really wish I could play like none of the people I play with want to play on the PvP server. They're all PvE people.
What game is this?
Atlas. It's
Oh, isn't
it's
it, like,
it's
supposed
it's
to be,
an
like-
Arc mod basically. It's
Yeah,
it's
Arc mod.
Arc mod that's it's Arc with
The costume
normal
one.
animals instead of dinosaurs and with sailing.
I'm kind of
See, the thing is, Rain, if you had said that, if you had said that, and then you announced that the game was like Super Smash Brothers or something like that, then I would be embarrassed. But not Eve. I think you have nothing to be ashamed about. With
I'm
Eve.
It's a
I'm
refined
commentator
game.
on
It's just, like,
Farming
slightly
Simulator
embarrassing.
2019.
Because if you like Eve is such a small community. Like if you think Smash Bros or like over like literally
Yeah.
any other like big game, Like it's impossible to find someone. Like if you were like, oh yeah, my friend's son's a professional CS:GO player, I have zero clue how to find him, right? Like there are hundreds,
Yeah, you'll never find
hundreds
him.
of like
Yeah.
professional CS:GO players, right? But for like me, if you're like, oh, professional Eve host or something like if you Google like Eve TV host, like I probably come up, Manic comes up, all these other nerds in the past couple of years come up, but it'd be very easy
By the
to
way,
be
I
like,
googled that, and neither one of you come up.
Yeah, Ryan Seacrest comes
Fuck
up,
you,
so
I just wanna
I
let
don't
you
know
know.
what you're talking
It's just
about.
Elise with his swag smug grin or whatever. His sweater game on fleek.
No, I mean, it takes special type people, but we have the most outrageous people. At least what it seems like. I mean, we get outraged at everything, and grip pitchforks and everything. Like,
I just want to say
Yeah.
like whenever I talk about like gaming communities, I'm really super smug about Eve because I feel like, well, I have a lot of people in Eve who like me. There's also a lot of people who hate me, and I'm sure all of you feel the same way. But at the same time, if there's at
Just
any
secretly.
point out like where you're like, guys, I need help. Someone's being a jerk to me. Everyone be like, no, you don't fucking talk shit about that guy. I only talk shit about that guy, and you just go and attack that person. That's how I feel Eve is. Like
so
like there are
tribal
people
mentality.
in Eve I really don't like, but if someone else were to talk shit about them, I'm like, you don't do
I
that.
love that
You don't do
mentality though.
that.
It's like, hey, did you hear this guy shitting on that dude over there? Like, let's go shit on him then.
Like, fuck that guy. We're only allowed to talk shit about him.
You mean like those Reddit cross posts when somebody mentions Eve, and then all of a sudden all the Eve players flood in and just completely spam their
Yeah,
Eve
it's
leaks.
like that's how I feel like Eve is. Like, we're only
We're-
allowed to shit talk about each other. No one else can shit talk
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, pretty much.
They can't do that to our pledges. Only we can do that to our pledges.
We're the shit kicker bar right next to the really hot club. But like when a fight breaks out, our entire bar goes out, and it's just those three guys that were talking shit from next
Yeah,
door.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, those Fortnite dudes. Yeah.
No, somebody asked if anybody's heard of Eve. When I bring up Eve, if I bring it up to somebody who's a gamer, they all know what it is. If I
Yeah.
bring it up to a regular person, they have no idea what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. But then again, the only games that you will have anybody who's regular, like a regular person, will have heard about, they'll know about World of Warcraft, they'll know about Fortnite, and that's about it.
Some don't
Other
even know
than
about
that,
Fortnite.
Nothing.
World of
They won't
Warcraft
have any
because
idea.
and then various like console games. Like I'm sure like Call of Duty or something like that has been.
I don't even think they know that. I mean, basically, if there hasn't been a skit on Saturday Night Live about the game, regular people haven't heard of it yet.
That's true. Madden.
And
Everyone
that's
knows
kind of like the
Madden.
rule.
Oh, speaking of like Dirk, when you said like shit kicker, like I didn't know you were talking about a bar. I was like, I thought you were going into like a Bears joke for a second.
No,
Idaho.
No, I'm sorry. I wasn't doing
I was like waiting for it. I was like, here we
doink,
go.
doink,
Nice.
double doink.
Oh man, it was you that relinked that one picture. It's like, are you a Bears kicker? And a yes and no checkbox, and the X's on the yes were like on the lines.
Yeah, run both
King,
sides
that's
of the
right.
line.
Minecraft is the other thing. And you know the funny thing is that my kid has turned into kind of a hipster gamer. Like he hates
Oh.
Fortnite because everybody else likes it. Like he hates it now. He used to play it. He used to play it all the time. My wife would play it with him. Now he hates it. So we were at the dentist the other day, and the dentist asked, "Are you a gamer?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm a gamer." And she's like, "Well, do you like Fortnite?" And this is the kid who's
He's
been
like,
telling
bitch, please.
I mean, literally, like he said,
like
somebody said
6.
something in class the other. I had to deal with it. I talked to the teacher about it because somebody says something about Fortnite. And he's like, Satan made that game. And I'm like,
What?
okay, I don't know where he got this from, but it's like the devil made Fortnite. I hate it.
It's
I'm
always
like,
funny because when I see Fortnite
okay.
mentioned out there, like on Twitter or something like that, I always refer to it as the anime first-person shooter dance game.
There you go.
I mean, you're
Right, that's
not
it. They think it's
wrong.
they think it's flossing. And
Because
that's
because
Fortnite.
honestly, that's what it like. The gimmick about that game is it's clowny fucking characters that can dance and like and like first person shooter is kind of like I should almost like say
It's battle
you know,
royale.
the fucking anime.
It's anime
freaking
PUBG that you can
dance
build shit.
first-person
That's
shooter.
basically all it is. Like
But that's
I
really cool
am
because like the kid like the
so
kids
tired
do like
of-
that.
of
Like when I donate
Battle
time
Royale.
at the school and shit like that, it's kind of like, when they talk about gaming and like I go, oh yeah, what are you console or PC? And they're like, I'm
What's that,
console. I'm
Hyper?
like, I play. I'm like, oh, what do you play? Like fucking Fortnite. I'm like, yeah, of course you do.
All my coworkers know Fortnite dances, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you know Fortnite dances, right, Rain?"
Well, they have like
And I'm
specific
like, "Please
dances.
don't talk to me about Fortnite. I like dancing, but like not like that." And then I have to teach them how to do it.
I am so absolutely so tired of the battle royale games. They are so it jumped the shark like last year. I played PUBG for the
No,
longest
it's still
time,
really
and they're
popular.
boring. It's boring. now.
everybody does a battle
It's
royale.
all a bunch of cheaters.
people
No,
like the
they've
bang,
always
bang,
been one of the
bang.
most popular. Like when H1Z1
But I
was
don't
out,
like
it
it.
was like the
I
most
can't play them.
popular game. It in League of like the thing is like League of Legends is always like sometimes it's number one, sometimes it's number two. It always flips around, and it's usually flipping around
I'm done
with
all the
the
battle royale games.
it's usually
I'm done
flipping around with
I'm
the
done
battle royale
PUBG.
game. So H1Z1,
I'm
then
done with
PUBG,
PUBG.
and now it's Fortnite, and then 2 years from
I'm
now,
done
there
with
might be the next
Fortnite.
flavor of the
There'll
week.
be another one
My
out
corpies have all been playing Ring of Elysium. I'm done with that. I'm done with it.
Play some Atlas, man. Let's
boring.
go sailing.
No, I played Ark. Some of my
No,
my
come
old
on, we
corp
can
mates
tame
before
we
SDK.
can tame a cow.
You can
and
tame a cow. Like
monkey,
I'll
And then you get on the raft and we shoot the bad guys with some bows and arrows.
yeah. Well,
They were all like, Brisk, try Ark. It's such a great game. Try it out. Come try it out with me. I downloaded Ark. I played for 5 minutes. I said, this is Minecraft with dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Fuck this.
Yeah,
and
no.
I turned it off.
it's not. It's better than
No.
Minecraft because it's not blocks.
It doesn't matter. It still sucks. It's boring.
Yeah, but Atlas, Brisk, I'll play you a shanty.
I do
It's
not
like,
want to spend a game
Brisk,
where I
come on,
spend
you
25
Brisk, hold on,
hours
Brisk.
building a fucking
bedroom. Brisk, do you like Guitar Hero?
Guitar Hero's fun. That's playing
Oh, okay,
music.
there's
I'm just
Guitar
listening to the
Hero
radio.
in Atlas. You get on the accordion and you
Yes!
play Guitar Hero while you play a
You gotta
shanty.
get a guy on the drums and you got the
Yeah, you get there's war
and then the
drums.
flute.
We could play some
Dude, like I spent
Celtic
like 3
shit.
hours with like a fucking like German dude, like trying to learn music. We're just like screaming, like oh fuck, wah, 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 like as you're fucking up.
Well, sorry, not to derail from the other show, but I want to link this one video. I think Dirk linked it. But when BTEC-R was going down, I called
I
the
did throw it
Associated
out there.
Press.
Oh, hold on. Let me
Wait,
give you
who are you
permission
calling?
again. The permission only lasts for a minute, so you need it again.
Okay.
Wait,
X up in Twitch.
How hard is it for INN to get somebody who's apparently like captain of their mystical squad to like get some rolls out and fucking?
I
Twitch?
guarantee if I went and asked,
I can talk to Life Shifter. Let's
I
talk to
was
Life
like, we
Shifter
could-
because like
I could talk to Life
We
Shifter. I
lost
guarantee
last
he
time.
would.
He
Sniper
would-
still not have roles?
I'm still not. I
Well,
don't
no.
have those rules. Okay, I'm gonna try to link. Or did I get permission?
There you go.
There we
Now
go.
I'm saying like because I guarantee you if we asked Life Shifter, he would mod Rain and Hyper and Brisk if
Alright, so-
if they're on the show.
The video I linked. So the funny thing about BTEC-R is when it was going down, I called the Associated Press to tell them like this is gonna be the biggest fight ever. So they did a little interview and they did an article and it ended up going out a whole bunch of places. This is my tribute video that somebody did. A Korean news agency made this video of me. And what they did, what they thought I was, and with the whole thing of not paying the bill for BTEC-R. So if you have a minute and want to save it and take a look at it, it is absolutely hilarious.
Wait, are you James Carl?
That would be me. I doxed myself.
Jimmy
Damn.
Carl.
Doxed yourself.
You doxed
Wow.
Jimmy
yourself.
Carl.
You link this video with your real life name in it, like that's some balls.
Well, see, they published it everywhere. I was on Fox News. I was in some
That's part of
Russian
the whole.
TV.
Were you on Fox News
That-
before
that's
Program
That's
Legend?
only a name he uses.
Oh no, he was on the Canada. He was on the Canada
Canadian
Fox News.
News.
No,
Yeah.
no, it just went
Oh,
through
God,
the
was.
AP. So it went through all the different
That's
places.
his Irish passport name.
Well, that's my Irish passport. But it's hilarious because they showed me like trying to like swipe a credit card to pay the bill to get BTEC-R. Not happy. Yeah, it's hilarious.
Nice.
But
Like super cringe, like real life.
Dude, the
producer
Star
shit.
Trek stuff in there is amazing.
yeah, it's pretty bad. It's like
I can't
don't
even watch it.
Drayden, you should play it.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
You totally need to
It's a
play that.
minute
That's
and a half,
amazing.
like-
Okay,
play it.
hold on. Let me add the YouTube capture thing. Then 1 sec.
Drayden's
It's
gotta
all
do
like
technical
Korean or
things.
something.
Brisk Strength tonight, Joseph Magnus. It's pretty good. I like this stuff. My first time
Nice.
with this stuff. It's good.
A nice label.
Pretty
It's
bottle.
expensive. I like it.
I ran out of Tito's, and now I have to drink Cornitos, or at least it
Cornitos.
Cornitos, Tito's long
Hornitos
lost cousin.
fruit? Oh,
Cornitos tequila.
Right.
what was that other Nitos thing that you were drinking? Oh, that was Jarritos.
It's Jarritos because it's
Jarritos.
Spanish or it's Mexican.
It's Jarritos in America where you buy it.
It's
Drayden is
Jarritos.
eating Doritos with his
I had
Doritos.
some Jarritos last week on the show. I believe.
Besito,
Shooter, come to
besito.
Washington. I'll give you a
Suave,
taste.
suavecito.
All right. Here's the thing.
Poquito, poquito.
Despacito.
Okay.
Yeah.
史上最激烈太空大战，起因于玩家没付钱。让我为你介绍詹姆士·卡尔，他白天是名银行家，晚上则化身为星舰战将。他热衷于玩线上游戏《星海争霸》，而要成为虚拟世界的赢家，必须花大把钞票建造舰队和训练团员。詹姆士费时数月，撒了超过$3000打造的舰队遭到突袭，而用来保护战舰的太空站也被敌人占领。这个游戏费时又费力，也难怪他的战友在凌晨3点绞尽脑汁想知道哪里出问题。幸亏他那天早上不用上班。看来原因出在他没帮太空站付款，虾米整夜没睡觉，只因为忘记帮游戏付钱。我们只听过有人因为睡得太香甜，忘记缴房贷。或许你该打通电话给信用卡公司问个究竟。换作是我，下回我就用比特币缴清。你觉得线上游戏和那些沉迷的玩家是怎么回事？留言告诉我们吧。
Oh man, that was good. Oh, there we go. Okay, I had to unmute
For
TeamSpeak.
years.
Wow. That's
That's what my credit card at 3 a.m.
I was like, this credit card explodes. They're just
Look at
like
me, just
throwing
jump out
money
of
at the
bed.
screen.
There you go. You know that Pearl Abyss saw this, and that's why they bought CCP.
I love how it's in. Was that Google Translate in Chinese?
I don't know. This was posted in January 30th, 2014.
Literally like the day I joined Eve.
Oh man, that's great.
Yeah. So there's stuff like that. Or it's like, because I thought it'd be cool to get, the Associated Press involved and do an article because of how cool it was. I mean, a $250,000 battle, and then it ended up being like I was the leader of Pandemic Legion, and my allies. It was.
You kind of look like Elise, maybe a little bit. Kind of.
Without the beard.
Right.
Oh man.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm glad you guys enjoyed that because it is pretty funny.
That made my night. That was pretty good.
That was some
pretty
quality.
They should make that thick avatar a skin. that you can buy.
Yeah.
Seriously, that was hot.
You can cosplay as Hyper Viper in game.
Yeah, Commanders. I didn't know that I wanted it, but I want the thick avatar.
Totally.
Can you get a neckbeard costume? I mean, like, how does that work? I thought you just had to go with the natural neckbeard costume.
Error. All the people with a real fucking life are asleep. Go to bed.
Yeah, that was. I was like, wow, thanks, guys. They didn't. I forget. It was somebody in SDK actually, Brisk, that sent that to me. Way back in the day.
I wonder if it was the Filipino guy we used to have back in the day.
Oh, the one that would go to that went to Thailand and send us pictures of his hooker.
Yeah. I bet that was him.
I don't know. It was him or Internal Dark. I forget.
We had some very colorful members of our corps back in the day.
King Ares. King Ares is like, this is the video that CCP used to entice Pearl Abyss.
Well, they have people throwing their credit cards. Like, well, we're used to that.
Yeah. Oh.
But yeah.
Are we doing a shot?
I am.
You hold them up.
Yeah.
I want to do a shot
I will do a
for
shot
Hyper
that
having the
video.
best video ever.
That was.
You know.
like
You should look that on Reddit if
The
people
only
haven't
reason-
seen that. That shit's great.
the only reason that was
Oh.
not an Alliance tournament commercial is because of length.
May I'll use it in my my CSM campaign if I ever do one brisk.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I love.
Shots.
Shots.
Oh yeah, do a dab. Like what kind of dab?
I gotta break into the fucking fireball. Like what little bit is left of that. Honestly, I'm drinking like fucking scraps around here.
Damn. Next thing you know, you're gonna be drinking Purell.
Dirk is McGurk Jr. back at school? Because you should make her
No,
go
not
get you
yet.
some booze. Then
Not yet.
tell her to go
She's
get
like-
you some booze.
She's
She can't-
19.
Shut up,
Oh.
Dick.
That is doxing.
Oh, that's right. She can't go.
Man.
You've said her age on
Dirk,
here.
bring your daughter to
No, I'm kidding.
Toronto. I'll teach her how to do shots.
If I do come to Toronto, yes, I am bringing.
Yes!
Junior, but we'll
Like
see.
All right,
Dirk
everyone
Jr.
donate to Dirk so we can get his daughter to Toronto.
What about me?
No, we need to get
Unless-
Drayden.
Well, you
If
too.
McGurk Jr. is going to be
Unless I
there,
stay in the Niagara Falls area, then I'm just bringing my wife because I'm going to get one of those fancy beds.
if McGurk Jr. is coming, then Drayden absolutely has to be there just so Dirk is
Exactly.
uncomfortable the entire time.
Super
Yeah, if there's not a.
Hey.
Yeah, I'll just stay with you
Back
guys.
when my
Dirk.
daughter was 8 and Drayden's sister first came on the show, like, and I was hitting on his sister, it was like I never thought about, you know, what the potentialities might be when my daughter.
The repercut. It's like, you make me give you this like
Payback's
image of
a
me
bitch.
sitting there like rubbing my hands like, in 5 years.
Don't worry, Dirk. One day,
Revenge.
labia.
All right, do you guys want to talk about this other news we have? I don't know.
What else we got?
Yeah.
The
Open
market.
up
The-
we got a couple.
Do you have
Marshmallow
Input
thing?
broadcasting?
Do we have the
do you have to say
animal
marshmallow?
interview?
Do you
No,
have to
okay.
say
I have a
agent?
question. I have a question about that. Is there any way that what everybody saw was like an accident? Is there any way that was an accident?
No.
Based
all on the
on
same server
because
kit.
there were timestamps, so it looks 100% like input broadcasting. But I guess it
But
depends what
Can you use IS Boxer without the input broadcasting thing put on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh
you
yeah.
can.
Yeah.
So is it
So-
possible that he might have fucked up and just had clicked the wrong
Okay.
button?
My
Can I-
guess is
Well,
he
they just
logged
turn
in,
it off
so-
when you don't
Before you
have
guys
it
go
on.
too deep, I look, I'm not trying to reel you guys in or anything like that, but like before you guys go too deep on wherever it is you're going with this thing, can I ask what alliance this person is in?
Marshy's
Bombers
actually in Black
Bar.
Legion.
Bombers. Oh, he
Oh,
is
okay.
in Black Legion.
So it's not
Yep.
Imperium.
Oh,
So
it
nobody-
was a Bombers
No.
Bar thing though, wasn't it?
So none of you
Well,
would
Marshy
be affected
runs Bombers
by
Bar, so
the
if you
fir-
were like-
the third rule of Delve Club is you don't talk about fucking Delve Club. You wouldn't be like fucking okay, never mind. Okay,
He-
please.
he's,
But
he
K-
has a
K3
drug-
K3J Club is all right though.
So Marshy has streamed himself logging in via IS Boxer, which, as far as I'm aware, like being able to log in or type in the same password or whatever is not bannable.
That's
The only time it's quote unquote bannable or preventable is if it's like consolidating multiple clicks with one click to give you an advantage. Some
It-
people would say chat applies, some people would say it doesn't.
So
I'm
that
not sure.
So he
that was
totally
the
does
question.
every single cloak login on his own, separate. Totally.
As far as I'm aware,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, so-
I think
so
he's
that was-
actually actively streamed that. He
So
has
that
it on
was the,
stream, so
that
you
was the
can
thing,
see
like-
that.
Because IS Boxer, like the input broadcasting that they were mainly going against is like, you know, the controlling a whole fleet
Yeah,
with one
so, like,
window.
So in the past, many times people would use like IS Boxer to like run a fleet like you normally would. So it's like anchor on the FC, fire your weapons.
Every
stuff
command
like
was
that
copied
with
to all your
one
clients.
one click to apply to like 20
Yeah, yeah.
clients.
If you
something
yeah,
like
if you
that,
right click
right?
in orbit, every one of your clients would replicate the same
Yeah,
thing.
which-
so
There
that
was-
was
which-
against the
When
rules.
pizza was a thing, there was a guy who used to fly around and terrorize people with a fleet of
When
Yeah,
I
there
am
was
in
some-
space
yeah.
and AMZ. When I am in space, quit the game. AMZ still plays. But yes, both of those.
Omega
both
does
of those
that
players
without
did.
IS Boxer.
There was a
And
try
you
guy
can
that,
do it. You can do it still
no,
now
Mo.
with IS Boxer. It's not that hard to like alt tab between 5 clients. The thing is with this instance, it was multiple clients on the same server tick, but it was in chat.
Yeah,
So a
and
lot of
so
people are
that's
saying-
the thing that I'm, because to me having input broadcasting applied to chat, like that doesn't really give you any kind of advantage. Like that doesn't do anything unless
In
you're
chat,
like
no.
unless you're like in a local spam war, then you have an edge. But other than that, like as far as flying ships, it doesn't do anything. So like I wouldn't care personally if they allowed input broadcasting for chat, but I'm just wondering if they just like a zero toleration.
Why would you
just
need
threw-
that
just
for
threw-
chat?
You would.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm just
When you
wondering.
want to
wouldn't need
shit
it.
post.
Yeah, when you want to shit post the whole constellation at
And
the same
all the
time.
logos.
But I
Because
mean,
yeah, we
when
need
people
that
are
shit.
talking
But-
about
Chat
like,
servers don't work.
But
as it
yeah,
is.
so as far as
like if you compare
as far as, like,
like
an actual-
chat.
sorry, go ahead.
Go on, Jared. Go no.
I was just saying, like, as far as a tactical advantage, chat input broadcasting doesn't give you an advantage. So I'm just wondering if they threw it under like just an umbrella rule that any input broadcasting, regardless, is not allowed, just to
Well,
Yeah.
rule
get rid of
argument.
any kind of loopholes that might show up later.
And I think that's what people are concerned about, right? Because if he accidentally or intentionally input broadcast via chat, people are like, well, does it apply to other things? Like in the past, when it was legal, when I Am in Space and AMSI both would do bombing. So you had one person controlling like 5 to 10 clients doing like bombing runs. So like they would click once to launch all their bombers, et cetera, et
we had a
cetera.
guy-
Yeah, it was totally devastating.
There was
too.
a guy
I remember
in-
seeing
Yeah,
when I'm in
and-
space and
Up
just
in
be like,
Declan.
oh,
And
shit.
at the time, it was legal, and then CCP said it wasn't legal. So I know both When I'm in Space and AMSI stopped. But the thing is obviously it's not legal now. People can still do it, kind of like botting RMT. People do it, but if you get caught,
It's
you're
easier
banned.
to catch, though.
Well, see, the thing is
Yeah.
you can disable it, so you don't have to deal with it. Oh, the input broadcast. Because
And,
I used
and
to use
IS
IS
Boxer.
Boxing.
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
IS Boxer. You could disable
Because
it
you can still
altogether.
use IS Boxer to arrange all your clients in such
Yeah.
a way that you
Yeah,
can-
I'm
yeah,
not,
of
I'm not
course,
going
of
there,
course.
but you can do that to log in. You can use it. You can disable the input broadcasting. The fact that it was set up makes it makes people wonder because like, oh, okay, oh, he said, oh, I just typed it in, but you can disable all of it across all clients, so you don't have to worry about it. But it's enabled, and he got caught by.
It's kind of like one of those like, are you
Across
using it?
Yeah,
For,
by
are you using
chat.
it for other things now?
Yeah,
it
exactly.
raises
So
I
now
mean,
there's
it
a
leads to the
doubt.
question. Definitely, like, should it be investigated? Sure, 100%. Does that mean he's abusing it? I
We
mean,
don't
I don't
know.
know. I don't know if anyone else knows. Like that's a CCP thing, and obviously, if CCP is investigating it, we don't see any insight to it. Like that's part of like CCP's investigation. If you report someone for cheating, botting, RMT, anything like that, they never share the results.
I
So-
remember
And we
the,
did
uh,
invite him to come on to Open Comms and kind of talk and kind of explain
Yeah,
himself if
he's-
he wanted to, but he wasn't interested
I'm
in it.
like,
so
I was
it's
not
fine.
surprised
I
by
would
his
not
answer.
expect
I
it.
was
I
not
wouldn't,
surprised
I
by
wouldn't
his
expect.
answer.
I mean, look, if I was his lawyer, I'd say don't say anything. To
Yeah.
anybody. Shut up.
Can we invite you
Shut
on a
the
show to
fuck up,
talk
Friday.
about the rule you just potentially broke? He's
Yeah,
like,
don't
"Fuck
don't
no."
talk about it. Just shut up, dude.
I mean, it's kind of predictable though, right? Like, who is ever going to admit to doing something wrong, whether they're guilty
Exactly.
or not, right? Like, for all we know, he could have logged in, accidentally forgot to disable it, and typed some bullshit in chat and sent it.
Well, then some people could say the same thing about Gara, who actually lit 20 sinos at once.
Whoops.
But it's kind of like obviously. Like,
I mean, like, if
no.
you're lighting 20 sinos at once, that's a little bit more game breaking than it is accidentally
what was it,
typing
the-
in
the-
chat.
His next text should be, "I'd like to talk to my attorney."
Yeah, the
Correct.
replicator guy
all
back
across 60 clients in local.
back when goons were still up in
Hold
Declan.
on,
There was
I'm sorry.
there was
I'd
a
like to talk to my attorney. I'd like to talk to my attorney. I'd like to talk to my attorney. I'd like to
There you go, right?
But no, there was a guy in Mortis Angels that when we still lived up in Declan when I was in Imperium. Replicator. He had like 48 accounts, and he would run all of them in bombers. And basically, TNT, we did like a fleet of like 100 dudes to go like start structure bashing something, and he would single-handedly fend us off with like 48 bombers, all controlled by IS Boxer. He was like basically running one client
Oh, yeah.
and had a 50-man fleet that he would fight us off with, and it was pretty frustrating.
And for the
So-
longest time, stuff like that was legal. It was like a lot of people don't understand that now, but for a while, doing IS Boxer, multi-boxing like that was perfectly legal. It wasn't like a macro or anything like that. It was like you press one button and it just applies to multiple characters, and people were like, okay, that's legal. But then CCP was like, wait, maybe this isn't as great for the game when you can have one guy with like 100 clients logged in acting as a fleet with 100 legitimate people. So
Especially
they
drone
banned it.
bunnies
Yeah.
in the past.
Oh yeah, especially
Oh.
like yeah. So like I mean, it was completely reasonable for them to ban it, and it makes sense. But yeah,
There,
it's very
it made the game better. I mean, since that, because there was a lot of people. It wasn't like everyone was using it, but it
For
was
sure, yeah.
enough that it was kind of disruptive. And
Yeah, I have.
I don't remember.
flashbacks
Was there
in
people
my-
that were super pissed about that? Like when they said they were going to be getting rid of ISBot, like
yeah,
disallowing
so,
the
like-
Oh, yeah.
broadcast?
Yeah.
So,
A lot of
like,
people
There were
got mad
dudes
about
who
it.
were
Everyone
like, I'm
really
taking my
fucking chill
48
about it
miners
and
and I'm
shit.
going home.
I just
like,
remember.
like, if you guys-
Exactly.
They were really chill about it. It was like, it was a brief conversation that occurred.
Yeah, right,
Like, they
'cause
were
this
just
is
like,
Eve.
hey, you know what? I really
So-
enjoyed playing with all these accounts for a while, and
Yeah.
God bless.
Everyone was completely
so as
reasonable.
so I flew in pizza. So I was
believe that.
actually flying under when I am in space. When I am in space bombing, Lucia, Capku, like people who are well versed in how to properly bomb and take out your opponent. And yeah, like Space was pretty upset. He was like, "Oh my god, like I as one person could like kind of handle the situation, but now I have to rely on other people. Like that kind of sucks." But at the same time, we adapted.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it makes sense.
pizza-
I mean, if you see people abusing it, and it's like super garbage, right? Like instead of having a bot problem, you have one person controlling 50 accounts, and they're able to do bombing to totally shut down your like fleet of 150 people. They're able to do like
Hold on.
mining, PVE, whatever the fuck have you.
I don't mean to get all fucking nostalgic and shit about like what
Shut
it was
up.
like.
Shut up,
back-
Dirk.
back at
When
the
I'm
time.
in space is my fucking hero.
No,
I
no,
will
no,
fucking
hold on.
shank you
I'm
in
not
the
even
throat.
Yeah, fuck you, Dirk.
Shake
I'm
you
not
in
even
the
talking
balls.
about when I'm in space or like Shadow and Light or like
You're not even on the
any-
show
any-
anymore.
Any of that shit back then. But
You're
it's
so,
like,
you don't
it's
even
like,
play this game, Dirk.
people have to remember that when that shit was going on back then, that was like before skill injectors. That was before like a lot of this kind of stuff. Yeah, like this shit was there for a very long time of Eve before it became kind of like massive accounts online, kind of a thing. So to like for people who weren't there at the time, it was literally like the wild fucking west of Eve, and these guys were running like monster level accounts doing this shit.
Oh yeah, I have flashbacks of getting bombed in a tribe. Was it Rook Fleet?
Yeah,
Bye,
dude,
when I'm in
you're gonna take
space.
TNT out of my fucking name. They fucking booted me.
I was just going to reply to
You can
that.
join Black Legion, Dirk.
I told
No, I changed it to retire.
I told him I was leaving, and then 3 days I took a fucking nap. I woke up and it was like, bam, I was gone. I was like, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I was
I
like,
guess,
I was
I,
like,
guess I can't
damn.
ask for
I wonder
had
if
my
that's why he's coming back.
applications-
He's
I had
like,
my applications into an alt corp, and then after I realized that that somebody had pulled the trigger after I gave him notice and shit like that, I sat there and went, I'm not joining that. Fuck that. I'll keep these guys over here like in this NPC shit, whatever. If I'm already there. I didn't want to fuck up. I hate fucking up my resume. But once my resume was already fucked up, I'm just sitting there going, you know what? Just leave them over here.
but yeah, so
leave them
like,
over
I-
Dirk,
Mine
join
high tech
Origin.
on my
I-
own.
yeah.
Dirk, you can join Origin.
I'm not
Or
joining
Alt
any
Corp.
of you fucking people.
Yeah, because you're a
Just
fucking
retire.
loser,
Or
Dirk.
retire.
I gotta
Dirk,
change your
I
name
have
tag.
super
I'm gonna
now.
come
I
in
have
through the
two
back door
supers.
somewhere.
I gotta
Dirk,
change
I
your
have a
name tag,
super
but
now you're like the fucking casual, and I'm the serious player.
yeah,
Oh.
Exactly. So you could talk down to me. I get that.
but Aries,
I know how to
it's
use
not a
Asano
text.
and Doc.
Yeah, Aries, it's not a text. It's an image file, so I have to go into like Photoshop and tweak with
But
it,
it
which
wa-
it
but
only
it
take a
was
couple
different
seconds.
time.
But the thing is, like, I don't know what image to use then for like a retired thing, like
Just an old
Whatever,
man in a
whatever,
wheelchair.
whatever.
just an old geriatric
Pandemic
guy in a
Legion
chair or
logo.
something.
Yeah, just go
Pandemic
Pandemic
Legion.
Legion
dude back from
Pandemic
like
Legion.
honestly, I'm gonna join a fucking like a corp or whatever that's just called.
Thought
Like,
you were
dude
quitting.
back for a week. Dude back for a week. Like
Get a
hold on.
picture of the
I'll log
creepy old
in the
guy
fucking
from
day
Family
that I
Guy.
show up because I'm fucking bored or whatever. Okay, but like that really was a different time. Like honestly, I was sitting there saying in some place, I may have been out in Twitch chat or like someplace, I'm having this fucking deja vu talking even about IS Boxer. The mere fact that we're still fucking talking about this now, the mere fact that anybody out there wants to talk about whether or not somebody's just using it for logins or maybe they fucked up and it was still set.
Well,
and they,
Iceboxer's been on
and
the
they-
back burner
hold
forever.
on. And
Yeah.
they fucking chatted with it. Here's the thing. If IS Boxer's on your computer and you remotely use it for Eve, you know that over the course of fucking time, that guy was trying to see what he could get away with. I mean, come
No,
on.
no.
Yeah.
A lot of people
Come
use
on.
it. No. As someone who has
Stop.
seen Marshy's login and people who log in 40 to 100 clients like that, people simply use it to log in. Like I attempt to
And I
log
totally
in
agree that that's
3
basic.
clients at
And
a time
resource
by manually clicking. It's fucking atrocious.
What? Wait,
I do
how?
not blame anyone.
Manually
for
click,
using
you have to
Firefox
click
to
3
log
times.
in and organize
Just
their
let me
clients.
finish the last part of the sentence, which is something that I learned like 5-6 years ago when all this was really going on and shit like that. Okay, the mere fact of the matter is that he threw up a fucking flare, okay, for CCP to look at, okay?
Of course, and he should be
Yeah.
investigated properly.
Well, hold on. And if he's
Of
still
course,
playing the game
he's-
right now,
no one's
it
denying
means
that.
he wasn't doing those
But
things.
that's the thing. That's what frustrates me is you see the guys on Reddit, everybody's freaking out. Day 15 of Marshy not being banned. Day 16 of Marshy not being banned.
They're
It's
keeping
like,
a chrono.
like-
I told everybody in the beginning, I said, look,
Marshy's lasting longer than the fucking shutdown.
and I
Like,
said, and what I
witch
said was,
hunting-
and I
witch
got
hunting is
downvoted. I got
atrocious.
downvoted to like nothing on Reddit for this. But it's like, guys, if you think he did something wrong and you've got the screenshots, then you got to report it in game, or else it doesn't matter. You can go and spurge on Reddit as much as you want, but if there's no game
CCP doesn't
in-game
run their
ticket,
policy on Reddit.
correct.
Here-
GM's
Well, that and
security
witch
team is
hunting
not
is
going to look at
there's
it.
all
It's going
Witch
to
hunting
just on
is
Reddit.
absolutely atrocious. You should not fucking call for someone to be banned because you don't like them or whatever fucking other garbage criteria you have. If you have evidence, submit to CCP security at ccpgames.com if you think it's that significant
Correct.
enough. Like that's like I've had tons of fucking bullshit against me. I just email CCP or I fucking make a ticket. Like don't do this witch hunt thing. That's
There's
fucking
it's not about-
atrocious
it's not
and
about witch hunts.
disgusting
It's not-
behavior.
it's not about
No,
witch hunts.
that's what some of this stuff against Marshy is.
Oh,
It's
please. Okay.
disgusting.
Okay.
Don't
all right,
you,
fine.
Dirk,
Oh,
you've had a witch hunt. Dirk,
Here.
you've had a witch hunt, and that was disgusting too.
Relax.
No one
relax.
should hunt witch hunt
Here.
people. It's
Are you talking about the
fucking
names?
atrocious.
The
Number one,
inappropriate names?
I've had a witch hunt because when I wear a pointy hat and fly on a fucking broom, guess okay. All right. That being said, okay.
See, the difference is when Dirk's been witch hunted, it was deserved.
Okay. Well, hold on.
I don't think it
Right.
was deserved.
Just
Dirk's
because
wit-
I've
I
been known to
defended
wear a
Dirk
pointy
against
hat
his
and like
stupid
fly on a
fucking witch
broom
hunt.
does not mean you need to witch hunt me. But
Don't
still, once in a
witch
while,
hunt.
I do get into
Don't
the air.
witch
Wait,
hunt.
wait,
If you
okay.
have
No, no,
evidence
hold-
of something bad, whether it's Marshy,
No, no,
whether
no,
it's
no.
Goons, whether it's literally
People-
anyone in your
people
life,
don't need.
take the proper action.
Well, that's
Don't
what
witch
happened
hunt.
with
Don't
when
witch
when
hunt.
I put the comments out about GigX getting banned when we were at the summit. All the CO2 guys were trying to get me kicked off the CSM because I had leaked stuff that was told to me and broke the NDA and it was all ended up being bullshit
People
like weeks later,
don't
but it's like,
need
that's what
that
happens.
level of direct access or that level of direct evidence, okay, in order to sit there and go, wow, you know what, this looks a little fucking sketchy. Let me throw it up the line, okay? That's not going to get somebody fucking banned. And I'm going to go back to the whole freaking, like, you know, the Matani incident when he sat there and said, but you don't do this, okay? Like, bullshit. You know what?
You shouldn't
Yeah,
ban. You shouldn't be
Yeah,
reporting.
you
goons.
fucking do. But apparently, just don't talk about it out loud, okay? When all those fucking Rorquals come in, like to the belt, like all doing the same things at the same fucking time.
Pulling
Just-
drones,
just
lighting
don't talk
sinos.
about it out loud. But yeah, you know what? You fucking do, okay? Because guess what? That's not going to get somebody banned. You know what's going to get somebody banned? When CCP actually does the due diligence and actually looks into the things to find out whether
To
or
which
not
you have to
somebody
file
gets
a
banned.
ticket. You have
Right,
to
So
file
you
a
can't-
ticket.
so in
that's
the
the
case
thing.
of Marshy, okay,
This is what
he
drives me
sent up a
crazy
flare.
but it's the same thing, Dirk. I mean, the thing that drives me crazy, everybody thinks that, all right, well, if I post it on Reddit, the devs will see it and they'll do something about it. No.
No.
It's the
Not
same thing
Reddit.
with like bugs and stuff
Well,
that's
hold
broken
on.
in the game.
No,
Everybody
no,
bitching about chat. It's like,
Not
how many of
true,
you have filed a
not
bug
true.
report?
Not true. Okay.
File a
not
fucking
true.
bug reports.
It's not to say that they don't
Not
see
me,
something
but
on
other
Reddit
games.
that triggers. There's a bunch of different things out there that might catch the attention of them doing the next step. And the next step is the only thing that really freaking matters. Okay. Not whether or not 100 of you out there all report the same thing or any. It's whether or not they go through the steps of actually looking at this from the logs that do show something in the game. Okay. And that's fine. And guess what? If Marshy's still here now, doesn't mean he'll be here next week, because guess what? They may actually like still be in the process of doing things. It's fucking January. They're cold. They're like still trying to get hot cocoa and shit. Okay. Maybe something will happen, or maybe it never will. And if it never does, it's because they haven't found what they need to be able to prove that beyond that stuff that got linked out there. And then hold on. But guess what? He's low-hanging fruit right now because his fucking firework flare went up into the sky and lit it up, and I'm sure that they're looking at that. The other people who have not let's say, made an error or something like that, they're the ones that are still out there, and they're the ones that CCP are still hunting. And when they find something that gives them reason to look at them, they will look at them as well. So, you know what? Just because this guy did something that was obvious does not make him the fucking Charles Manson of input fucking broadcasting people out there, just because you think you've seen some evidence that got reported in the mainstream media.
See, if he does get banned, it's gonna be all Goon's fault. It's all the GSM.
Oh, of course, right. Yep.
True.
It's like anybody that gets banned that we don't
people
like.
play their game though, right?
it was
People play the
GSM.
narrative. But the thing is like
Always burn the
reports-
witch. Hold on. Commander Ace. Always burn the fucking witch. This is EVE Online. This
no,
is open
stop
comms.
it. We're not
Always burn
promoting
the
witch
fucking
hunts,
witch.
Dirk.
Yes.
You have been
Always
the
burn
subject
the
of a
witch.
fucking witch
But just
hunt.
remember
I think we
that
all
when the
have
witch
at
actually
this
wakes
point.
up the next morning,
I have.
just know that it was just like a burn the witch thing.
No. So like the thing is I hate witch hunts because like public opinion is usually 99% wrong if I want to base it on
But you
anything
like
that's
drama.
ever been. No,
So,
I
Rain,
don't.
what you're
Have
saying
you
is
met
you're
all
voting
the
for Donald
witches,
Trump
though?
in 2020? Is that what
Of
you're
course. If they fucking
Alright,
put
good.
Clinton against Trump again, voting for
saying?
Trump.
Got it.
But the thing
Damn.
is I just don't like witch hunts. So like if you think someone did something wrong, report it and just keep it at that. Like that's what I do. Like every time I get some stupid fucking bullshit in game, I don't sit here and cry about it on fucking Twitch. I don't cry about it on Reddit. I don't cry about it on fucking Twitter or what the fuck ever medium people want to use. I make a report to CCP. CCP says, "Hey, do you have any more evidence?" Or, "Hey, we'll look into it. We're not going to tell you the results," and then I leave it at that.
See,
Like,
Rain, your
that's it.
first mistake is logging in.
Right.
Shut the fuck up, Viper. I actually play this game, okay? I'm not like fucking Kotaku who just pretends we play the game.
But that, I mean,
Sorry,
that's, but
couldn't
that's the
help.
thing. It's like there's a specific way of dealing with stuff, and I hate the assumption that folks have that if somebody doesn't get banned because it was on Reddit and it was obvious, it was so obvious that obviously that CCP doesn't care, or that they're letting bots run the game, or that they only care about people with like multiple accounts, because it's not true. It's like I remember every time there's a story on Reddit about somebody bitching about getting banned unfairly, then either one of the GMs or somebody comes in and is like, actually, this is really what happened, and every time the person that made the original post was lying out their ass. It's like a rule. So anytime I see these stories, I'm like, I don't trust this, and that's why I asked, is there
If
any
only
way that
there
Marshy
was,
could have
like-
been legitimately doing this without it being a thing?
Which
Because
that's
I
what
just
I
don't
point
buy
out.
it.
He
Yes,
streamed
there
it.
are ways.
Marshy
If
has streamed
only,
himself
like-
logging in through IS Boxer.
Well, logging
Like,
in.
it's
And that's
not
not illegal. That's not
No,
not
not at
That's
all.
sort of the thing.
It doesn't mean that you don't make fun and you don't cast aspersions.
Dirk,
This is
we're
Eve.
not
Well,
fucking
this is
drama dudes. Like you need to go on Talking in Stations if you want to keep that drama. Okay.
Wait, Talking in Stations is the drama show?
Burn.
Talking in Stations
We
is
can-
all
hey,
drama.
You can talk shit about Talking in
Stations.
Stations now because they're
Damn,
not.
so
on
wait, so we're
identity.
the real news then. Talking in
We're
Stations.
the-
We are
We're the only news show.
Talking in Stations is fake news.
Yeah, we're not the fake. We're Fox News, and Talking in Stations is the Kardashians.
We should get Matterall in here and say and bitch at him and his little MSNBC clone that he's running over there.
If only there
Matterall
was like a
wasn't there for that
community
fight
team
last
that
night,
could like
that was
sort all
me.
this out, communicate with the players and stuff. That'd be weird.
We are
Yeah.
one with the players.
That's
Like a
That's-
little more transparency from the security team. Like, yeah, this guy got banned for this.
I
reason,
wish.
or this
Look,
guy
I
did
wish
this.
they
So-
could do it.
Look at
So
this.
to be fair
Like,
though,
I know there
any
was a
They have-
security
there's
team,
All
any
kinds of
security
legal
team
stuff that they got
ever,
to deal with.
whether it's a video game or real life, no security team or no retaliation like that is, I guess it's not actually retaliation, but any sort of punishment like that will never, ever, ever be communicated. And it like pisses me off that people are like, oh yeah, tell me if that guy got banned. Like, no. They will face
Well,
so much
see, here's what-
backlash,
This isn't
so much
any
legal
other
issue.
game.
Now here's
No,
what,
they
when
are
I
never going
campaigned.
to communicate that.
When I
Never.
campaigned, what I said was there should at least be an acknowledgement that they received, the inquiry or something like that. It's like, we've gotten your thing, we're investigating it. Thank you for something like that. Like even just a form letter to say that they got it. Because what it sounds, at least what I keep hearing from people is, I click the report bot button and then nothing happens. So obviously all the reports are
They're
just
doing
going
it
into a
wrong.
shredder.
So like
And it's like-
I've sent reports to CCP. I say,
what are
hey,
they-
this guy's doing XYZ, and they'll message me back saying, hey, thank you. We don't need any more information. However, we cannot tell you the outcome of this. And I say, okay, thank you. I'm quote unquote like they're satisfied, unsatisfied. So I say satisfied because I'm like, okay, you got the information. And then like I never know. Like I reported a guy like a year and a half ago for endlessly harassing me in game. I don't know if he's banned. I have no idea. This dude, like, I almost want to take real life action against him because like that's how bad it's getting. I don't know if CCP took action. I can't tell.
But
They
that's the
are
thing,
not
like,
obligated
I
to
think
tell
they
me, and they will
could
never tell
they
me.
could provide a little more information to
No,
players
no,
that report
like-
this stuff. They
There are-
could.
Like they're not
There are
allowed to
games
tell
out
that. They're
there
not allowed to
where-
tell
I'm not
that.
saying
They-
that they're
they can,
going to.
they
But
can.
I'm saying, look, I mean, look, I've had death threats on Twitter before. I've gotten
Yep.
results of investigations. They tell you
Death threats.
whether someone's been
Yup.
banned or not. So
Yup.
that's I'm a public figure. It happens.
There are games
You
out
know.
there that will give you feedback on people that you.
I don't think
report as well.
everyone. I don't think
Right.
anyone's
Well,
trying
here's-
to kill me.
It
other than
is
like,
possible to
shooting,
do
you
it.
get a
It just
notification.
depends on what they on the level. Now I know when we had a team security meeting at the CSM summit, and I mean obviously that was one of the ones that was redacted completely
Almost
from
say
minutes. We didn't talk about
GSM.
anything. I almost said GSM. Yes.
The real.
Ooh. I don't have my
Oh,
goons
shit.
pin on this suit. I don't have my goons pin on this suit. But I mean, but the point is that I know a lot of games, a lot of different groups are very anal about letting that information out. I think a little bit more transparency would help. Like I think it would be freaking amazing if when CCP bans these botters, if they print a list of names, just say, here's a list of names of the people that we got rid of, so
I
we can
think
see it.
it's-
I
Yeah.
think that would be cool.
Noisy
think
at
it-
a
I
point
think
where
it
you moved into a
invalidates some
special
pri-
court. If people get banned, you get moved into a special court, kind of like
I
when
think-
you
I
biomass
think
you
it-
go to Doomheim.
I think the issue is that it
Doomheim.
like invalidates some sort of privacy. So like
Well, but here's the thing. They don't have to say
I
because.
think
Speaking of privacy, do you want to talk about GDPR after this?
Well, real quick.
I'm
No.
all about GDPR.
Wait, so-
That's
so-
my
Ray-
fucking
Why would you
job,
want to talk
so-
about that?
Wait, hold on.
Are we-
Rain,
are
Rain,
we not
wait,
Europeans here?
real quick. Rain, you were saying that like they're not allowed to say if they took action. They can because there's other games like.
They can. They
There's
just
various
don't
other
want to.
games but generally they don't say like this is the person that we did this to. But there's various games that will say like someone that you have reported has been punished. They don't tell you what the punishment is or who it is, but they say
They
that.
do that like
I-
League and Overwatch,
League
right?
does that, and so League they don't say.
But they
you
don't
don't
say
know the
who.
instance. Although a lot of times you know because if you get into a game and someone's just dropping N bombs and a bunch of like super racist shit, and at the end of the game you're like report
There's
for
no time
report
peak
for
in League of
racist,
Legends.
and then like 20 minutes later it's like someone you reported has been punished. It's like I know exactly what that is. That's that guy I just played against.
Well, here's my thing with Eve. Most players and people push the boundaries as much as possible. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did get feedback on certain things. Like, okay, I'm gonna report this person. Try this. See if you get caught and get banned. Oh, you didn't get caught or banned? Okay, we can do that now. That's how I imagine Eve players being.
Honestly, all they
Actually, it should
as
just be
a
like
lawyer,
the way
as
it
a
was in
lawyer, what I would
H1Z1
tell them
or
to
some of
do.
those games that you were mentioning, where it's like while you're sitting there in game, it's like a little thing over here on the side. She could come up and so and so just got fucking banned. It's like
Well, look.
Just like a
here's
wall
how
of
they,
shame.
You want to do it? If they want to do it, I'll tell them. I'm a lawyer. I'll tell you how to do it. You put in the ULA. You put in the terms of service. When somebody logs in, you agree to it, saying, in the event that you are removed or banned for a violation of these policies, we reserve the
Little point
right to
Disclose.
publicize your name,
Game name.
and you agree to it when you log in.
Yeah, I mean
There you
Yeah.
go.
simple
You know,
contract.
that's
yeah,
all-
simple
that's all it
contract.
is.
and then we get entertainment.
You
at the
waive
same
all
time.
you waive all rights to your privacy.
Now,
when you
hold
log
on, like,
in if you get busted.
If
they can
only
do
there
that if they
was,
wanted to.
if only there was like a
what
walkie.
About, what about in your overview that comes up like on the fucking screen where it's like you did this much damage, you did this much damage, you did this much damage,
You
you
got
took
this
this
guy
much
wrecked.
damage.
Right.
Motherfucker just got banned.
It's like, have you guys played? Have
No.
you guys played Star Trek Online at all? If you play Star Trek Online, one of the
for a
things you'll
very
see
short,
is like
for a very
they
short
have like
amount of
these,
time.
Dude, we're
like
the
these
cool
super
kids.
loot boxes. They have these super loot boxes and they broadcast anytime somebody opens and gets something cool out of one of these super
Yeah.
loot boxes.
Yeah,
'Cause they want
it's-
people to buy these stupid loot boxes because they're like EA.
So
So,
an Eve version will come in.
there
The
you go.
agency is
It'll
like,
be
you
about
got
being
somebody
banned.
banned.
If they had, if only they had
Achievement.
walk-in stations when it was originally supposed to be, you could actually have like a stocks where like people that get banned, like you have a week temp ban, so like when they log in, they just log in, they're in the stocks, and people like throw shit at them or something. But
Yeah.
They missed out on that gym.
I missed out on that. Yeah.
But anyways, I just want to go back like to the point where I learned, okay, because talking about Marshy, okay, reminds me of a time like years ago. Like if there was a thing about real money trading that came up there, I didn't give a shit how fucking lightweight it was. Like we would sit there and rail on it. The Open Com show, like at that time, it was actually I think still the fucking Big Country show and things like that.
Yeah.
And I remember, I think it was around the time of kind of IS Boxer and shit like that, because I believe that Shadow and Light at that point had like caught some shit and whatnot, and there was something that came up about Iron Bank, and they had a video of it, and they had something where it was like showing a modifier, like after CCP had made some changes about how you could not give preference to Cash Money subscribers on your Twitch channel and shit like that. And there was the thing that was going on with Iron Bank, and they had a fucking video and they gave it to me, and I sat there and I blasted it fucking out there because it was just like, as far as I was concerned, I'm sorry, it was kind of like I was saying earlier tonight, we just talked shit about anybody who got like, you know, stinky fingered about any of this stuff. It turned out to not be true or whatever, you know, and like, you know, I personally got fucking called on it and whatnot. That was the last time I ever fucking did that, where I actually threw it out there as a, oh, look at this kind of fucking thing. Because here's the fucking deal. We can sit there and take a bunch of minimal information and run with it all day long. It's literally what the hell most of the Eve media and everybody else in Eve, Reddit, all these things included do. And we talk about it and all that kind of shit. Sometimes it works out that it was true. And a lot of the times it works out that the information you had was not enough to actually make the kind of aspersions that you were doing to whoever it was out there. And like, I actually learned from that. Like, there are several learning moments I've had over the fucking years. That was one of those freaking times, because I actually threw it out there going, look, here's fucking evidence, but it wasn't. It was something different in the whole process. And this right here is one of those times where I'm sitting there going, guess what? Marshy may have had this, and if he gets banned, you'll know CCP found what they needed. What was there was not enough to ban somebody. It just wasn't.
And that's why I'm not getting bent out of shape about it, and why I feel like I wish the rest of these guys on Reddit would chill. I can't say that, though, because all the wormholes would downvote me, because that's what they do on Reddit now.
Yeah, you know.
But it's like,
sometimes you gotta
be like, guys,
wagon. Sometimes you got to pitchfork and fucking, you know,
right. But it's like, guys, you can keep posting about Marshy, but you know, I find it hard to believe that if he actually did something wrong, that he wouldn't have gotten nailed yet. So
yeah, no, I did hear about a bunch of Rorquals that were down in Delve that haven't been in their mining belt for several fucking days. Like when I say a bunch, I mean like 30 and 30 that haven't been down there. And like, I'm not saying that anything did happen, but it may have happened. But if it did happen, it's because they're just not there anymore.
Derek, I'm going to stop you right there. I do want to, before the show ends, because I know we only got a few minutes, I want to link, I don't know if, Draden, you can link that ammo image.
Yeah. One sec.
That was really. I don't know if you guys have seen this on Reddit yet, but it's a great little visualization of the ammo and just kind of how range, damage types. It was really great, really informative. So, anyways, continue.
Yeah. Well, this is kind of nice because I
have we gotten to August 2018 yet?
No, I think we're
Rain. Punch him in the balls, please.
I think we're on November. But no, this is actually kind of nice as far as because there's a lot of times, especially with the Tech 2 ammo. No, I don't want to go.
These things have been great because you know this is the stuff that like, I mean, you know how everybody puts in their bio, like, you know, this group shoots damage this type. And use this damage. You know, this is great to have, and it's visual, and you can just keep it on. But it just reminds, like, I remember, all right, this is the reason why I have Aurora loaded on all my Titans. This is why I have, you know, this is why.
Yeah, it's nice for a lot of the.
This reminds you of why you do what you do.
Yeah, like a lot of the laser ammos, like you just picked out, like, okay, I know this is this and this, but when it comes to like the Tech 2 ammos, especially for like any like even projectile and stuff like that, it was because there was a lot of them. I mean, as far as like the Republic Fleet EMP, and like all the standard ammos that you're really used to, you don't need this for. But when it's like, okay, load Tech 2 ammo like Aurora or so, it's like, shit, what is that? Is that the long range or is that the short range with tracking?
Yeah.
Like what?
No,
I don't.
Long
super good.
range, baby.
For those who are unaware,
Quake and what was the other one? Hail and Barrage and it's like, fuck, I don't remember which one's which. I never use them.
So for those who are unaware, for the Alliance tournament, CCP actually has printed out like visuals of a ship of like what the turrets and the missile launchers look like, because that's actually useful intel. So this guide's actually extremely useful intel for people who ever want to like try to learn the game. But yeah, I appreciate something like this because I have actually like used a physical guide from CCP during the Alliance tournament. We're like, oh fuck, what guns are they using? And we're like
It's
trying to
is
figure
it
it
a
out.
hybrid?
Oh, I should show you guys something I have. Hold on a second.
Oh yeah, so CCP
Is this
has like
Twitch
a printed guide.
appropriate?
So like for
Unzip.
awareness, autocannons like to spin in their ship. Everything else for turrets doesn't. So you gotta know the rest of what the turrets look like to know if it's arty or
That was
you
really
know,
helpful for like
gee, I don't know,
P3s, too.
lasers.
Like the configurations.
Yeah, the
Oh, yeah.
As far
Oh,
as like the turret look, I actually got because
Commander Ace,
again I'm one of those
sometimes
guys
not
that plays
always.
zoomed in. So and I've played with like the pulse lasers. I've played with the beams, all the different both sides, and so it's like I could tell a blaster from a railgun. I could tell an autocannon from an artillery.
This is proof
Which not
that I am
everyone can
old
do.
Beams
and
are-
I have played this game a long
Beams
time.
are like the auto.
Look what I found in my
lasers, right?
basement the other day.
Is that a guidebook? Is that like a cheat book?
This is the first Prima guide
Oh,
to
the
E from
Prima!
like 2005
Damn.
or 4.
I didn't know Prima even made anything for
Did you
Eve.
dust it off? You're like, ooh.
I had
found this in my basement while I was cleaning up
I
cat shit.
had one of those for
couldn't
World of
believe I
Warcraft
found it.
Vanilla when it was first launched. I went and got one of those things.
You guys want to do a shot for the end of the
Di-
show?
Yeah, I think for Diablo
Yeah.
2 as well.
Closing credit shot.
Yeah.
Favorite page
Shots
is
for
the
the road.
Raven page. It's so awesome.
No.
Is it-
I want to send a shout out to the Dallas.
Does it say
motherfucking
Torps are the best
Cowboys
on
who are gonna
Ravens?
Rock some shit tomorrow night.
Damn right.
And then
you know what?
the
I'm
Philadelphia
actually-
Eagles are gonna fade away. Into
No. I'm
Thursday.
Are we
no,
doing
Dirk.
that? We're
I'm
shouting out
actually
sports teams?
rooting for the Cowboys to win because I want to see Cowboys versus Philly in the national championship.
I really do. Too.
Go
I'm
Alabama.
gonna find
Oh.
a
So-
fucking,
so it's like-
I
Later,
really would
bitches,
like
let's do
Philly
shots.
and
All right.
Dallas to both
Yeah.
lose.
Shots.
So, good night, everybody.
suck a dick,
Good night.
Redskins fan.
But yeah, I'm rooting for Dallas
Flames,
and
go.
Philly all the way till they
Go
play each
Flames.
other.
No
then I'm rooting for
NFC
Philly.
East, nothing.
All right.